Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. Today, we are returning to our mini-adventure, Gloom. That's right, the final mini-adventure in the Fantastic Adventures put out by Sly Flourish. They said we wouldn't get here. I don't know who they are, and I didn't listen. We did it.
It was the listeners, Tony. They wanted us to stop, and we didn't do it. They know who I am.
No, they don't.
It's me, Steve Lutz.
Oh, joining me in his frequently present role as Assistant Dungeon Master, it's the one, the only, the Dan Morin. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tony. I'll be playing the part of the dragon today to complement your part of the dungeon.
You were surprised that I introduced you before any of the players, weren't you?
I was not ready. I did not have my remarks prepared. I've got a short speech here, if you don't mind. I'd like to take a moment and just read the speech. Thank you to the Academy. I appreciate the nomination. I'd like to thank my Dungeon Master, Tony, and all of the players who made this happen, and nobody else.
I'd like to be extremely clear, you have not won anything. This is just the start of the podcast.
Awkward.
Okay. Joining us today, we're going to do something a little bit different. Hang on. It's going to be great. I'm just going to introduce one player right now, right? That's weird. That's confusing. That player is Lisa Smizer. Lisa Smizer, welcome back to Total Party Kill. Can you remind us who you're playing?
So my name is Gwyndielle. I am a human cleric. I am now level 3, which is very exciting.
Ooh.
And I'm not very happy about my intelligence score, to be honest with you. I feel like it went down.
Lisa, I feel like that in everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the doom scrolling. I have a literal scroll. And I do.
We will introduce our other players soon. Rest assured, this episode is not just me, Dan, and Lisa, but that's where we're going to start. So
that would be a bad thing.
Well, you
got the players outnumbered. Good job.
I did do this was a couple of years ago. There was a weird, there was something where Georgia Dow wasn't available, and I wrote her out of an episode, and then I did a one player, one Dungeon Master game with Georgia Dow. It was weird. But I think that was then edited back into the episode. I don't remember exactly how we dealt with that. That's not what we're doing today, because this is a 2 Dungeon Master, 1 player situation. Totally different.
Even
right,
better.
Dan?
Twice as nice.
All right. So let me just send Dan a note about what we're doing, because I realize he has not been briefed. Everything's great.
Could this have been done before the show?
No.
This is really the only
Does he normally get briefed?
No. Yeah. I'm usually texting
Just
him
make it
during
up
the
as
thing.
you go along.
Sometimes he even gets pantsed.
Let's not talk about it. That's painful memories.
Yeah.
I was thinking socked, but okay.
Ooh,
That also true.
That's even better.
Belted?
Wow. It's amazing how many
It's
acts
very
of aggression
violent.
are associated with
dressed?
items of
That seems
clothing.
normal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Capped.
I mean, if you say jump out, then
Yeah.
Yes.
at least for Brits,
when you're out
that-
on the
that
street
has a different
late at night or
connotation.
something, or
Yeah.
All right. Gwyndielle. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
you did. According to the
Gwyndielle.
generator, it's Gwyndielle.
Gwyndielle. It's a Wednesday in Whitesparrow. You are out for an afternoon walk. Things are peaceful right now, but you did hear that there was some kind of dust up earlier in the day where people were just straight up murdered in the streets of Whitesparrow. That's kind of the talk of the town. People are a little bit nervous about that. Whitesparrow is just a quiet town on the fringes of society. Sure, we've got a giant stone hand, and it seems like something bad happens every week, but they're used to a quiet, peaceful way of life, and it's unusual that people would just get murdered in the street, especially on a Wednesday. So you are just out for a walk when you hear some kind of screaming and shouting in the distance, and a young man runs up to you. I'm just going to describe him as kind of a fancy lad. He's wearing he's got breeches, and he's got one of those coats that doesn't close all the way and has a lot of really shiny buttons, and he's got kind of a powdered wig. It suggests that he's probably some kind of butler or house servant.
Inbred loyalty?
To the to a very rich family. And to play that house servant, please welcome to the podcast, Dan Morin.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah. Miss, ma'am, miss. Excuse
How
me?
can I help you?
Oh, hello. My name is Duncan. I am a footman at the Vanderwood House. I've been there about 2-3 years. I'm really hoping to someday work my way up to, but no, never mind. That's not important. There's been an incident at the Vanderwood House. We need the assistance of a cleric. They told me to fetch you. They seem to have some knowledge of you. Could you come quickly?
Can you tell me more about this incident?
Yes, of course. Where to begin? Well, this morning, as I was preparing bacon and eggs for the mistress...
Let's skip the job duties and let's go
very
straight
well.
to
Yes,
the incident.
the young master of the house, Ian Vanderwent, he has been, we think, poisoned, or some manner of attack. He's dead. That's the important part. Or maybe he isn't. We don't know. We could use your help.
All right,
cleric.
as we walk to your house or the Vanderwent house, I want you to describe to me what Ian looks like and what his behavior was like and what he looks like right now.
Well, he is a young man, perhaps a little bit younger than me. I'm 19.
Color is his face?
Oh, yes, his face. Well, normally he's very pale of complexion. I don't think he gets enough sun. But now it's almost as though his veins have turned dark black. Even it's like nothing I've ever seen.
All right, so his face is black. Is his tongue protruding or is it still in his mouth?
I had not seen his tongue, so I
Did
suppose
his eyes
it's...
roll back in terror? Or
I was not there with the moment that he died, but I
All
was
right.
mainly just sent to fetch you. I'm afraid
What
I
kind
did
of
not.
noises did you hear him make?
Personally, none, for he was dead.
Okay. All right, you're not giving me a whole lot to go on here, Footman, and I don't feel good about your chances for promotion, but let's go to the house.
But I'm not
All
a
right.
cleric. I'm just a lowly footman.
And so, Gwyndielle, you arrive at the Vanderwent house. You may or may not be familiar with the Vanderwent house. It's certainly one of the nicest, biggest houses in Whitesparrow, if not the nicest and biggest, aside from the Whitesparrow Keep, of course. And the Vanderwent family is probably known as being basically they run a merchant operation and are one of the most kind of financially successful businesses in Whitesparrow. So the door to the Vanderwent home is just kind of hanging open, and you hear noises inside. Duncan leads you up the stairs, and there is a very strange scene awaiting you in the hallway on the second floor of the Vanderwent house. There are several servants dressed similarly to Duncan waiting around. There is a pair of kind of elderly, nobility-looking people, presumably the Vanderwents, presumably Ian's mother and father, and strangely, four women who I can only describe as various degrees of disreputable, some much more so than others. Allow me to describe and
It's
introduce
because
them.
they're wearing pants, isn't it?
Well, first up, and I'll allow them to determine whether they're wearing pants or not. Some of them are not. Some of them are wearing fancy dresses.
Maybe motley is a better word, Tony.
Yeah,
I don't know.
motley. There's a motley group. First up, you haven't met her name yet, but you will meet her very soon. It's Briar, a half elf clad in chainmail and wielding a sword. And to play Briar, please welcome to the podcast, Jess Vader.
Hi, that's me.
Jess, does your character wear pants?
Yes.
Okay. Standing next to the half-elf Briar is an elf with kind of a blue complexion, flowing red hair, is Nyasa. And to play Nyasa, please welcome to the podcast, James Thompson.
Hello. And
James?
she does wear pants, but her armor is glamored to look like a fancy dress. Not fancy dress in a Halloween sense, but that... to get us in through the door of this place.
The American fancy dress, not the British fancy dress.
Yeah, we don't.
Yes.
That doesn't mean anything to us, James.
Although technically, since it's a glamour on top of her actual, wouldn't it also be fancy dress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
It's a
can
fancy
also
dress,
work.
fancy dress.
Fancy dress, yes. We're all just pretending here, really.
Next to the elf, perhaps you're a little startled to see this person in Whitesparrow, certainly on the second floor of a merchant's house, outside of possibly a crime scene. There seems to be a lizard person. And to play Nis, the lizard person, please welcome to the podcast, Jason Snell.
Hello, Nis is wearing robes because she is a sorcerer, but underneath there are probably leggings or pants of some sort.
And next to Nis, probably the least disreputable, I think, is another half elf.
Most reputable is another way to say that.
Most reputable. I don't know. Maybe I'm being unfair.
Least likely to alarm the normies.
Denala, the half elf bard, as played by Rosemary Orchard. Hi, Rosemary.
Hello, I'm a high elf bard.
Sorry,
to be
high
more
elf.
Specific.
Oh,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better. Well,
No.
Yeah.
We're all
Don't admit that in
elves
front of the
here.
cops.
Classy.
yeah.
And to be very clear, I'm wearing a dress with leggings, so
Okay.
we're good here.
Yeah.
So all pants.
And so this strange crowd is in the second floor hallway. There's a bedroom door is open, and you see peeking in Gwyndielle. It appears to be a young teen's bedroom, and there is the body of a young boy just kind of slumped on the floor in the middle of the
It's on the floor. Okay.
Yep, in the middle of the scene. The vendor wents are in several degrees of shock and are kind of wailing and not sure what to do. Several servants are kind of stay on the edge of periphery of this scene, unsure how to help, but also they don't want to be too close. And then, yes, there are these four, let's call them adventurers, present in the hallway too, who seem to be unsure of what their next step is. But we'll start with you, Gwyndielle.
Please cue the theme song for CSI Whitesparrow.
I had written that
It's not a
down.
lute. I hope it's on a lute.
In the town of
it's the Who.
Whitesparrow, there's a serious crime,
Jason, that's
Clerics
really
come
confusing.
from miles around just to investigate the crime that's happening on the second floor. Something like that. I'm working
Looks
on
like
it. I'm
it's
working
time to
on
see
it.
if someone's defiled a temple.
Wow, way to take this serious child death situation very comically.
All right, so I clock the four strangers in the hall who clearly look like they don't belong on the scene and file it in the back of my head that I need to ask them questions to. I'm going to go in and look into Ian's bedroom. I'm going to look around to see if there's anything unusual on the walls or on shelves or a writing table or a desk that might not... That seems like it might not belong. That seems like
All
a
right.
recent interest and doesn't go. Do I see anything?
Give me a quick investigation check.
Okay. All right. Switching browser.
The first roll of the session, people. Everything rides on this. This will set the tone for the day. Or not. It's a
Okay.
random
So
number.
what dice am I using for a quick investigation check?
It's a DC 20, or roll a D20, and then you will add your investigation score.
Okay. D20. And then my investigation score. Oh, come on. Okay. Hold on. And I'm so sorry. You guys are going to have to. How ironic that I'm investigating this, and I have to ask.
It's all good.
And now, how do I roll the investigation score here? I'm so sorry.
What are you using to roll dice? Are you using D&D Beyond or Roll20?
I'm using D&D Beyond.
Somebody who actually
Be able
uses
to
D&D
click
Beyond.
on
You should
the
just be
investigation.
able
Click on
to click on investigation in the
the number
checklist.
next to investigation.
Right.
There we go. Okay, so let me click on that. Let me roll. All right, I rolled a 16.
All right.
Oh, excuse me, I rolled a 17.
17. Excellent. So,
Thank you for helping me.
Gwyndielle, you survey the scene. You're looking around. You're kind of studying all the various things in the room. And this scene, this crime scene, is a little. I think the word curious comes to mind. There is a small window that is securely locked from the inside. There's various books and little kind of wooden toys and assortment things that are the personal belongings of of this teen. They look, I mean, clearly this teen was not the most kind of organized of people, but it does not look like there's anything that has been disrupted in terms of there being a struggle or any kind of fight in the room. Nothing looks broken or out of place, and there does not seem to be anything in here that is out of place. As you're kind of completing your scene, your eyes catch on the plate of the doorknob itself on the outside of the door leading into this room. There's a couple scratches on the latch, which suggests to you that perhaps someone very recently picked the lock to gain entrance into this bedroom.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I've clocked. He's got books. None of the books seem out of the ordinary,
Nah.
like how to summon the Dark Souls, things
Nope.
like that. And we know that, and I can see that the lock appears to have been picked at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to, well, presumably I was able to do that just by having a
Yep.
quick look around.
That was
It's
just...
time to have a quick look at Ian.
All right. So you look at
body
Ian.
formerly known as Ian.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This...
So I assume that I go over and keep a little bit of a
Yes.
distance in case he's going to emit any foul gases
Yes.
or
That's
give
teenagers
me
for you.
Humors.
his humors.
It's nothing
Give
funny
me
about it,
a-
Jason.
Give me a medicine check,
Okay.
Gwyndielle. So you
All
should
right.
have a medicine
My
score.
medicine check is a 13.
All right. You are surveying him. He looks, just to be clear here, there was, I think the servant had some hope that perhaps he was simply dying and not dead. He is quite dead.
He's dead.
His veins in his face are all kind of black. His skin has a very pale look, especially for, I mean, he is recently dead, but he is extremely dead. And you're kind of surveying the scene. His tongue is kind of sticking out a little bit. It's pretty gruesome. You can see why the parents are so in shock. But I will.
She
tell
looks
you,
at the tongue and is sticking out a little bit and thinks, "Footman, come on."
Yeah.
Are his
right
hands
there.
similarly covered with like black veiny stuff?
Yeah,
or
they
is-
don't look
yeah.
good.
Okay, so
and-
basically like, his entire body is covered in black veins.
Yeah, and you suspect that based on your medicine skill that this is someone who has been poisoned, and in fact, as you are inspecting him, you find it would be easy to miss, but there is a small puncture wound on the back of his neck, as if delivered by perhaps a needle or a very small blade.
All right.
But he has been poisoned by some kind of assassin.
Okay, so I'm going to look around now for somebody
Assassin.
who's not losing their mind with grief and confusion, and who
You
is that
see-
likely to be?
You see 4 adventurers standing in the hallway, shuffling their feet, or otherwise
All right.
observing you. They do not look.
The
Just
li-
checking.
the-
All right.
Adventurers, any of you losing your mind with grief?
No,
Nah.
the lizard person though looks at Gwyndielle and says, "Was it poison?"
And I say, based on the puncture mark on the back of his neck and the way his veins have turned black, I suspect it was a fast-acting poison that someone else administered.
Interesting. I wonder what kind it is. Do you mind if I take a look?
No, I would love to know what kind it is.
Well, Nis rolled a 5 for her
You
very
could.
good nature. No, a 6. Sorry, a 6. So Nis looks at the wound, and I'm gonna just say Tony probably says, unsure what it is, but I'm sure it apparently was very bad.
You think?
I think Nyasa has
I think
looked,
it was a serious poison.
I think Nyasa has looked at the scene, has looked at the veins, knows exactly what it is, and is keeping her mouth shut because she will be suspect number 1.
All right, so Nis and Gwyndielle, you're in the room. Denala, Nyasa, and Briar are in the hallway. Briar, Denala, do you want to do anything?
I'd like to check the hallway to see if there's anything out of place.
Okay. Give me a quick
Is
investigation
that a
check.
perception check?
We'll say investigation.
Investigation.
You're investigating, right?
Okay. I rolled a 20, so that's 23.
All right. You survey the scene, and everything looks perfectly in place, and you feel very confident. You also notice the scratch marks on the latch to the door, suggesting that somebody picked the lock to Ian's room with a lockpick. And, that is not trivial to do. That suggests that somebody pretty intentionally, but whoever picked that lock left no other traces of their comings or goings.
Tony,
Just to confirm, the scratches are shiny, so they're new?
Yeah.
Rather-
Is that how scratches work? Yeah. You know they're new.
The shinier they are, the newer they are.
There you go. You
Tony-
know that they are new.
Nis, while at the body, Nis would like to do an Arcana check just to see if there was something magical involved in this, or if it's
All
just
right.
purely chemical.
Feel free. Go.
May I?
Yep. Go ahead. Do an Arcana check.
Nis is going to get out of the mystery business because that's an 8.
Wow, you're
Maybe Nis can suggest
Getting the bad
to
rolls
me.
out now.
Yep.
Maybe Nis can suggest to me to do an
It
Arcana
may-
check.
I am unclear if this is magical or not, but it is a very bad poison, as you already know.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah, do that, and then I'll give Briar a chance to do something.
Oh, okay. All right, so I've done my Arcana check. It's a 7, so not so much.
Unclear.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wellness, I don't know either.
Sometimes when you do these knowledge things, you get like kind of the magic 8-ball, like check back later. Briar, do you want to do anything? You are just kind of skulking in the hallway, looking as all of you do, somewhat suspicious.
Who found the body?
I believe Duncan. Duncan found the body and then was sent to get help.
That's right.
Duncan, you're still there. Duncan, you were probably bringing Ian some tea. Duncan, you want to say anything?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant right now. She's like, oh my god, he's dead! As if he suddenly forgot.
No. 10 minutes ago, you were bringing... Yeah, Oh, I thought he might have gotten better. I prepared sandwiches. Duncan, get it together.
I'll never make first footman at this rate.
Wow. We all handle grief in different ways. So yes, Duncan is there. Ringing his... He's probably got... He's taken off his powdered wig and he's kind of wringing it in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan, did you see anyone leave? Did you see anyone leave? Did you see anything suspicious?
I mean, I don't think there was a lot of suspicion. I mean, there were you. You were the most different, unexpected thing that I've seen around the house today. Everything else seems normal.
So,
there is the sound of boots with maybe a little bit of spurs on them, clinking up the stairs, stomping into the hallway, and arriving at this chaotic scene is one Sheriff Ruth Willowmane, Sheriff of Whitesparrow. She's got tattoos, she's got scars. She's kind of an older lady who keeps things, maintains the peace and quiet in Whitesparrow. I think Gwyndielle has encountered her before. The rest of you are meeting her for the first time. She exudes an air of no nonsense and just kind of mild irritation at the sight of your faces. Yeah. She kind of glares around at all of you. And to play Sheriff Ruth Willowmane, we'll see how much Duncan still has to do any talking. Please welcome to the podcast, Dan Moore.
More trouble in this town. Every day there's something else. You feel like just as soon as the Chamberlain of the Lord gets attacked, and now there's a dead boy. I just can't deal with all this. Especially with you scruffy lot hanging around here. Who the hell are you?
You don't remember me?
Oh, Gwyndielle.
No, hi, we've met. Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. Still fascinated by that hand in the middle of your town.
The hand. People just leave the hand alone. Anyways, I assume maybe they called you in for your cleric skills, or were you already here for some other reason?
I was called in to take a look at this.
All right, and who are these folks?
Well,
we were sent here by Lord Whitesparrow to figure out who is trying to assassinate him. We were the ones who broke up the assassination attempt on the Chamberlain earlier today. And
you're the ones none of whom bothered to show up and give me a statement about that crime too, huh?
We were told to look for you at the pub, and we went there, and you weren't there. So
I was in my office. Next time, try the
sheriff's
office.
Where is your office?
It's a 2-block town. Ask anybody.
All right.
It's upstairs in the pub.
We're here now. I'm worried that this is the 5th of the 5 people who they've threatened. This Gloom has threatened to kill. Have you heard? This Gloom, this unknown force named Gloom, has threatened to kill 5 people a week. 5 people a week until young Whitesparrow is delivered into their clutches, and that's what we've been told by the Lord to solve. We could use your help, Sheriff.
Oh, you could use my help. This is my town. I solve the crimes. You're be helping me.
All right, we could be used to help you, Sheriff.
Deputize us.
I don't think we're at that stage quite yet. Well, if you're so invested in this crime, why don't you tell me what you've learned?
Well, we relay the information about the fact that we found out that this boy who has been murdered is a pal of young Whitesparrow, and that they both seem like they were up to a little bit of nonsense here and there, painting cows, I don't know, stuff.
Oh, they were painted the cows. I've been looking for those culprits for months.
And also apparently did something bad over at the Temple of Light. We're unclear exactly what they did, but perhaps some sort of vandalism.
What did they do at the Temple of Light?
They peed in the
They
fountain.
peed in.
Yeah.
Oh.
They did.
Kids.
They did. Ian admitted that to us, but then we were leaving, and we heard.
And we had got quite a distance away.
Yes.
Yeah. We were at least, the whole block away.
Oh,
And
sure.
people saw us leave.
Of course.
So I'm
Strictly out
concerned.
of murder range, seriously.
And
that
he
he's,
was alive when you left, is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And his
Anybody-
parents took him away.
Okay.
We were definitely not the last to see him alive.
I'll
But
have to interview
we are
them.
concerned that he was wrapped up in whatever has also led to young Whitesparrow being a target.
It didn't used to have. Whitesparrow used to be a nice, quiet little town. All of a sudden, all these adventurers come tromping in, and it seems like it's one thing after the other. It's every week I've got a new murder, and now you're saying five people
Every
They're gonna-
week.
Every week.
How often are people defiling your temples?
Not until recently. It was very quiet. It's very
Sheriff,
nice.
I'll point out that technically there are 5 murders, and then also the would-be murderers. Also, I think there were 3 of them. So you're up to 8 murders today. So.
8 dead bodies today, and it's
Yeah.
only Wednesday.
That is
Is it
that
murder
is well
when we
above
kill
the
them?
quota.
And let's just point out that
So
Whitesparrow
is
is
more
a
like Corpse Day.
Whitesparrow is a small town. The mortuary is actually just Sheriff Willowmane's coffee table. It's like nothing.
I haven't had coffee in a week.
You ever try to fit 8 corpses on a coffee table? It does not work. So, happy Halloween, everybody!
That's my favorite Joe. That's my favorite Joe Pesci movie. 8
I
Corpses on a
believe
Coffee
legally I'm required to say no.
Table.
Never.
If it's
have
from
done
IKEA, I'll
that.
just collapse it.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want any trouble. I don't want any more trouble, I should say. It seems like there's been plenty of
There's
trouble
plenty
already.
of trouble already, yes.
I just want there to be no more murders. If it seems like Lord Whitesparrow in his infinite wisdom has asked you to look into this, I guess I shouldn't interfere with that. But I want you to keep me in the loop, keep me apprised. This is still my town. I'm still the law here.
We shall
Absolutely.
keep you informed.
Sheriff, I would
Does
like
she
to
always
ask
talk
if
like
you...
that? It's very
Yes,
creepy.
Yes. Yeah.
Only
Sheriff,
on
I'd like to
Wednesday.
Sheriff, I'd like to ask if you have had anybody come forward about the people with the teardrop tattoos on their faces.
Wait, what people with teardrop tattoos?
Those were the
So-
ones who murdered the Chamberlain's guards and tried to murder the Chamberlain.
Well, it sounds like from your own admission that you were the ones who dealt with them.
Indeed, we did.
I have 3 corpses that have those tattoos, and I certainly
Those were
know.
ours.
Okay, so you're confessing to murder.
No, we were protecting the Chamberlain. Those people killed all of the Chamberlain's guard before we could stop and attacked the Chamberlain. And if you go speak to the Chamberlain in Whitesparrow Keep, you will find that we saved the day.
It was done in self-defense of somebody else.
I think we just call that defense.
I would like to point out they
We're
attacked
heroes.
us.
They did.
Yes.
This is going to be a hell of an inquest.
Very
is all I'm
specifically,
saying.
Nyasa. They attacked Nyasa
Yep.
and Briar.
All right.
So we had to throw knives at them.
I'm not sure what
Like
other
them.
information you want other than they, I certainly know as much as the next person that they're fugitives probably or from the prison down south. But other than that, I don't know anything about them other than they're dead now.
Why do you say they're from down south?
Well, there's a prison that I think that was a sign of the murderers, the criminals from there. They generally got branded with those tattoos. I feel like that's, we know about these things in law enforcement circles. It's pretty far away though.
Do the tattoos, do they brand on one side if they're like a murderer and on the other side if they're just a thief, or is it pretty much same spot? Doesn't matter what you did.
The teardrop
Right.
represents murder. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I look like a tattoo expert. Apparently, I have tattoos, so yes, I guess I am.
Yeah, says the person covered in her.
I
Sheriff
see
Ruth
they
Will-
hand
look
you a
like a
manual with the
tattoo
first
expert.
one.
Sheriff
That's right,
Ruth
they give you
Willoughby
a-
tattoos are more of a kind of they're more indicative of various military services. They're totally different from.
I was going to
criminal
query the whole branded with tattoos, and that's not how branding works. But
Don't question.
What,
him
you
or his
want to look at a
tattoos.
cell? Is that what you want to do? You want to see the inside of a cell?
They have one cell in Whitesparrow, and it's really more of a closet.
I'm not going to keep you there because I don't have room, but I'll let you see the inside.
I'm curious to see. But
Yeah, sure, come down to the station someday.
Winter coats, Christmas tree,
All right, so you're telling me there's some sort of assassin on the loose.
That's what
That's
we've
the
heard.
story we're going with.
That's what we've heard.
Someone
And
just assassinated the son of these rich and influential people, so
Yes.
by definition, there's an
Maybe-
assassin.
Or
Yes.
group of assassins, because there were definitely 3 that we stopped, and there's this Gloom who is threatening Lord Whitesparrow. So something is afoot.
All right.
Or a hand.
Well, I just want to ensure that the rest of the people in the town are kept as safe as possible. I am not equipped to deal with master assassins. So if Lord Whitesparrow has retained your services for that, please have at. But as I said, what happens in the town is still my purview. So keep me informed as you're going on. So I don't want you running around murdering any other people in the street, even if it is in self-defense.
The next ones we find, we will try to bring in alive.
Very good. Well, I'll be on my way. Gwyndielle, can I talk to you for just 1 minute outside?
Just a few more questions.
Just a
Just a few.
Lisa,
Look,
that's you.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, what was that? I'm still stuck on the closet.
I think the sheriff asked you to step outside the room with her for just a moment.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. Closet time. Okay. Hi.
Look,
I'm sorry.
I we know each other. I
Yeah.
trust and value your opinion on these things. The other
Mm.
4 in there, I don't know them. I don't
I
know
don't
anything
either.
about them. As far as I can tell, they're all new to town, and I got to
Mm.
admit, it's a little suspicious that they show up and this assassin shows up at the same time. Plus, did you see
Mm.
that elf? I mean, looked a little assassiny.
Let's not.
I'm
let's
just saying,
keep
in my
politics
experience.
out of this, okay?
In my
Yeah.
experience.
Look, listen, politics is more like elfin
look,
rights. Mhm.
just keep an eye on them. All right, just make sure that they stay inside the lines, that they aren't causing any more trouble. I'm trusting you. You've acquitted yourself well in those previous adventures. So just make sure that they do these things as much by the book as possible, and nobody else get hurt. All right.
So, what kind of backup do I get if they start coloring outside the lines?
You call me. By call, I mean you deliver a message to.
Okay. All right.
Call upon me.
I'll call upon you. All right.
Is this by pigeon or cat?
Pigeon,
or
cat,
saliva?
orphan. There's a lot of there's a lot
Urchin,
of
orphan.
There's a lot of way. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We have a
so
rich
just, thank you.
delivery
Thank you.
system here in Whitesparrow.
I don't have
All
time.
right. So,
to
can I
police-
also call on you? I know your time is limited, and there's certainly enough going on in the bar at all times, from what I can recall.
every day?
Oh, always a bard in there for
It's
some
only
reason.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
only
yeah,
Wednesday.
and having
What
the
a week.
bards doing. But can I also call on you if things get to the point where the 5 of us are up to our pants in trouble?
Yeah, sure. You can absolutely come down and let me know how things are going. I will.
Okay, no, you
deploy
say
all
come
help.
down and let you know how things are going. If I'm in trouble, I'm probably not going to be able to just pop into your closet.
That would be strange. I agree.
No, we'll send a message.
Send a
Either way.
message if you need backup. I'll do what I can. I don't have a lot of people working for me here. Most of them are the farmers on their days off, but
Yeah.
I'll muster what help I can if you need it.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
All right. Well, I'll leave them in your
keep
capable
an eye on
hands.
2 deputies arrive who are clearly farmers on their day off. They have like hay sticking to their outfits. One of them one of them leaves a pitchfork in the the little thing where they're stacking umbrellas by the door, and they come in with a thing to carry off Ian. Sheriff Ruth Willoughby goes over to console the Vanderwents, the various servants, seem to kind of drift back to suddenly are very busy elsewhere in the Vander White house. And the 5 of you get the sense that probably you should reconvene outside.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you reconvene in the street with a new adventure in your midst, Gwyndielle, who perhaps they'll take this chance to make more formal non-crime scene introductions and figure out what you're going to do.
All right. So hi. My name is Gwyndielle. I'm a cleric. Would you like me to...
Hi, Gwyndielle.
Hi. Would you like me to accompany you? And maybe my knowledge of Arcana. I have some background in medical and religious studies, so I could be useful there, especially since temple defiling has come into play.
I think that would be, we could use all the help we could. Apparently this sheriff, who I had heard good things about, is willing to let random people she has never met investigate a serious crime that has killed a large percentage of people in this town. And yet,
well, to be fair, she's met me, so maybe
perhaps you are her, in effect, her deputy. Anyway, we could use all the help we could get because this seems to be our job to do.
I think a healer would also be very helpful.
Yes.
I suspect it would be extremely helpful to us to have you with us. So.
We already bear the
agreed.
scars of defeating those previous assassins.
Yes, I do have I do happen to have a cure wounds spell at the ready. I've got a couple. I have a couple cure wounds spells.
Sounds
I have a
good.
healing word spell. I feel like I could be a real asset here.
It's like Gwyndielle, like reeling off her spells. Goes, I'm going to these, going to these.
Gwyndielle's just showing off that she's level 3 and all of you
Yeah,
are level 2. So
Teach us, advanced adventurer.
No, I can't really teach you anything other than Arcana. But,
Let us go to the Temple of Light, perhaps, and see what we can learn there.
Yes, I think.
Let's go. I like that.
All right.
All right.
And so you make your way to the Temple of Light. Temple of Light is on the western side of Whitesparrow.
I can't move.
Oh.
Oh, there I go. Okay.
Hold on, I'll give you... Oh, for some reason never gave you permission to control your character. That was dumb. All right, now you can move yourselves around. This isn't a tactical map. It's just a illustration of the town map. All right.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the hand.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everyone loves the hand.
I do love the hand. I want to know so much about the hand. All right, so we're at the Temple of Light.
You're at the Temple of Light. Let me just describe the temple before you go in. You make your way to the Temple of Light. The Temple of Light is, the oldest structure in Whitesparrow, other than, I guess, does the hand count as a structure? It's the oldest structure you can go into. It's a big stone circular temple. And through the open air nave of the temple, you can see it's beautifully decorated with ivy-strewn pillars of white marble, but there's this weird kind of ugly, acrid smell filling the air around it. Seems like whatever's going on in the temple, there are no worshippers around. It's kind of quiet. Looking around just from the front entryway of the temple, you can see 4 ornate statues of elven men and women standing on pillars between marble arches, illuminated by scintillating colors of a glowing orb that hangs in the air in the middle of the temple. A 5th statue looks like it has recently been tipped over. It's been shattered into several large chunks that lay in pieces on the floor. Some of the various pews in the temple have been kind of pushed around, and it looks like this temple looks like it has been recently disrupted, and then cleanup and repair is in progress. You see a strange kind of green-yellow light flickering in the water of a carved marble pool at the center of the temple.
All right.
I feel we should be cautious here.
Yeah.
Strange smells.
Smells
and
terrible, huh?
Weird lights.
Does not smell good.
Not good.
Do any of our elven companions, are they able to identify the personages that are currently statues?
They could try.
I can roll a history
You can roll
check.
history. I'll say it's
Or
elf.
is it a religion?
Either one, your choice, and I would say you would have advantage on elf-related things.
Wonderful. I scored 16.
I rolled a natural 20.
Wow.
Wow.
Epic history check.
Perfect.
Let me just see here. So you are looking around. They are ancient. One of them depicts the goddess of light, who is a kind of benevolent elven deity. Their faces and arms are kind of held up, looking at the sky. The other ones seem to be kind of more generic kind of pictures of not specific elf people or deities, but kind of, noble, good-looking individuals. So.
And they don't represent anything. They're just like random. We needed some statues of good-looking people.
Yeah, you could figure they're kind of the generic version of angels, right? So
they're elf like movie stars.
Yeah. Dan, name some elf movie stars.
Oh, sure. Lorelai Farsinger and Rad Brit.
All right.
Yeah, do you want me to keep going?
And let's just say Orlando Bloom.
Han Jan.
And
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, there you go.
What about Danny Elfman?
There you go.
No.
See, Jason.
No
Jason is much better at this game. Danny Elfman. How come nobody has a statue of Danny Elfman in their church?
Have you seen Danny Elfman?
No, I don't know what he looks like. Oh, okay, that's why.
It's just a statue. It's a statue of Batman, but he tells people he's Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman looks like the kind of guy who would get hired by Tim Burton. So, sorry, Danny Elfman. I just figure you could afford a haircut.
Danny Elfman is, as we know, listening to this podcast.
Oh no,
a lot of spare time on his hands.
Yep,
big fans.
So
He did the theme music.
Someone wanders in from one of the kind of side rooms of the temple. She's clearly some kind of priest. She is also elven. Seems to be going about her business and turns and notices you. You don't know her name yet, but this is one Elven Sorrowsong High Elf Priest. And to play this High Elf Priest, please welcome back to the podcast, Dan Warren.
It's me again. Hello, travelers. How may I help you?
Can you tell us what that smell is?
I'm afraid.
I mean, let's just start there.
Classic opening line.
Yeah. What does it smell?
Is that what you say every time you go into a church? Is that how you treat things?
I actually have with the incense.
She looks calm. Maybe like her eyebrow like twitches just like a little bit. Like
yeah.
I'm sorry to say we have recently had an incident at the temple where some vandals decided to make their displeasure with the temple known, and they did this in some particularly foul ways. But I must say, this can be repaired in time. After all, this may be a temple, but it is only a place. And so I truly hope that perhaps they find in their souls whatever they're looking for that has caused them to act out in such a way. But pardon me for not introducing myself. My name is Elven Sorrowsong. I am the High Priest of the Temple of Light.
Is there anything we can do to help clean up the vandalism?
I don't know. We have got this statue that's been tipped over. We are having some of our worshippers come by later to help us return it to its place, and hopefully a mason can repair the head that has been knocked off that you see here. As for the pool, well, that may just be a matter of time in taking some opportunities to have it cleaned out. But as I said, these are but earthly things.
You'll want your worshippers to help you with that, right?
I mean, at this point, if we whoever we can call that may help us with it, we would be most grateful. But it is not something that we need to take care of immediately. We'll just do it as soon as we can.
I did have one more question.
Just one more question.
Just one more question.
Yes, the elf in the trench coat.
It's this glamoured armor. Yeah. One of the people that we believe was actually involved with this terrible attack on your temple has been horribly murdered.
Oh dear. Well, that's truly awful.
Yes, it was done in a most innovative way. In fact,
I'm not sure there is much innovative about murder. People have been murdering each other for centuries, millennia, since time has begun.
Oh yeah. But it's a fine line between murder and a particularly clever assassination, leaving almost no clues whatsoever.
How did you find out about the temple desecration to begin with? Did somebody just like walk in one morning and there it was?
Yes, indeed. That's exactly what happened.
And how did you find out which lost souls did the desecration?
Oh, we were not aware of the identities of the people. As I said, we have prayed for their souls that they may find some better way of expressing whatever emotions have driven them into this, but
one
we
of
did
them
not
definitely
trouble
went.
ourselves.
How many people do you think? How many lost souls do you think did this?
I could not even wager a guess. I am afraid investigation is not something that I am focused on. I am more focused on bringing the word of the goddess of light to the town.
Maybe two people. Maybe two people.
It does seem as though one person might not have been able to tip over that statue on their own, unless I suppose they were particularly large or strong.
Denala attempts to give Gwyndielle a look that it conveys that we have more information on this, but perhaps we should not share it with everybody just yet.
Okay, Gwyndielle catches the look.
Why do you think they tipped over this particular statue? Or is it just random?
I could not tell you. Perhaps it was loose. Perhaps it was the easiest one to tip over. It does not represent anything in particular. As you can see, the statue of the deity is still standing. Most of the rest of these are simply, statues alike of other glorious
people.
Yes, good-looking elf people.
We're all good-looking, really.
We're all elves here. No.
Yeah, these are exceptionally good-looking elf people.
Very good-looking.
On jam.
Yes, but I don't know why they chose that one particular. I suspect perhaps it was just the easiest to tip over.
Tony, can I get a sense of how old this priestess is?
Sure. I think that she seems like she's probably at least 100 years old, which is, pretty up there for an elf, but not elderly for an elf.
Okay.
Well-traveled.
Not that I'm suspicious.
Can I do a maybe a religion check and see if there's anything that any clues I might have about exactly what happened here, and if I've got any ideas of why?
Sure. Give me either
why this defilement happened, or
give me a religion or investigation check. You might learn different things from different ones.
I'd like to help with that.
All right.
Being an elf, that should be advantageous.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd like to help with that too, since I'm a cleric.
All right. Why don't all of you roll either your choice, religion or investigation, and we'll see who gets the highest.
Okay.
Okay, I rolled a 25.
Is that religion or investigation?
That's religion.
Religion. All right. You're a cleric. You are well versed in these things. Looking around Gwyndielle and kind of taking in the crime scene, this seems more like kind of criminal mischief than anything particularly, attempting to. I mean, it has certainly defiled the temple, but it does not seem like it was had a particular kind of anti-religion, anti-god of light bent, and there were other things that could have been desecrated or trashed that are not. So it seems like more of a criminal mischief.
So it's basically two dummies who peed in a pond and knocked over a statue.
Yeah,
is what it looks
I think
like
that's
to me.
your conclusion.
And she's just your standard goddess of light.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. There's no like legends where if someone pees in my fountain, I dispatch a legion of elven assassins.
No.
Like,
This is not
That's the
Star
kind of god
Trek.
I want to be.
Yeah. Denala, Nis, anything?
What is the point?
Anything from your checks that you want to know? How'd you do?
Well, I rolled an 8.
An 8?
So I'm guessing I'm not going to do very well.
You're like, this is-
despite the fact that I'm a high elf and I'm supposed to know all
Maybe,
this stuff.
I don't know. Maybe you only go to temple on the high holidays if you're a high elf. So
And you said I could also do
A 3-day
investigation.
sure, yeah, 3-day elf.
So 12 investigation.
It does just seem like more of a just kind of mischievous than any kind
does
of...
this fit with our expectation of what those two boys apparently were up to? That this
Yes.
seems to just align perfectly with that.
Yeah, it seems like criminal mischief, not some kind of anti, for if one wanted to do something to kind of defile the Temple of Light from a religious perspective, there might be other things one would do. Especially there's this big glowing orb in the center of the temple that kind of provides a kind of important radiance to it. There also, I will tell you, there's nothing that would suggest other than that nothing that suggests a linkage of the Temple of Light to an assassin. Those are
Can
pretty far
I ask-
far sides of the org
Right.
chart, I guess.
Sure. Can I ask the lady of the temple if who has seen the defilement? Who knows about it? Who is who is aware in the Temple of Light community of this defilement?
Well, naturally, the rest of my priests here are, and
Elevin has two associate priests.
one of and one of them, I have not seen her since the desecration, since we found it. I'm a little worried for her. She seems to have disappeared. I think perhaps this hit her very hard. But I suppose.
Can you tell us about her?
Oh,
Yes.
oh yes, of course, Mira.
Mira.
Yes, she's been here for 20 years or so. She keeps to herself a lot, very introspective, very focused on her faith. But she is, yes, I've never seen anything bother her like this before. This seemed to be, she took it very hard.
Can you tell us any more
makes
about her
notes.
background? What was she doing before she committed to her life of religious contemplation? Do you know?
I'm afraid I'm not really aware. She didn't like to talk about her past. I gather she had left some situation that she found particularly untenable, and that was why she turned to a life of the priesthood. So we don't.
Does
we
she
don't
have any
like to pry.
distinguishing characteristics that we could look for if we were to see her? Distinguishing
Characteristics,
marks or tattoos or anything like that?
No,
What does she look like?
Did she have any monogrammed knife collections?
Any tattoos?
Or blood drop tattoos from her previous life?
Wow.
No, she has sort of, long hair of a dark brown color. Her sort of a medium complexion, violet eyes. But I cannot think of any particular distinguishing marks, as you might say. Certainly not any place apparent.
Do you know?
You've never observed any special skills she might have or anything.
Oh, she's very good with the garden in back. She has proved to be a excellent cultivator of our lovely flowers and some of the vegetables, of course, that we grow to feed ourselves. But
I'm a huge fan of gardening. Could you take me back to look at the garden?
I have other things to attend to. But if you really want to know more about Mira, my other priest, Lucia, she might have some
Lucia?
more.
Could Lucia take me to see the garden, please?
I'm sure she would be able to. But I will let me see if I can find her. I'll be back in a moment. And she trots off for a second.
While the priest is gone, I'd just like to very quickly fill Gwyndielle in that Ian, before he died, confessed to us that he and his friend, who is the nephew of Lord Whitesparrow, defiled the temple, and that they did it together. They also painted a cow purple, and that the nephew is the one who is supposed to be by the Twisted Elm, I think it was, tomorrow at noon.
And Nis is just suspicious enough that I think, can I roll something to see how I feel about the priest, the high priest, and if I actually think that she's not, is she who she says she is? Is she saying, is she leaving things out?
Go for it.
Is she omitting?
Roll an insight.
And that's 12.
She seems like she's being relatively straightforward with you. She is a priest. She seems to be kind of speaking plainly and directly. It seems like, perhaps the Church of Light is into kind of openness and honesty.
I just had that moment where I thought, we're going to discover that the nice old priest lady is behind it all, and Tony's like, you never even checked to see, you never did an inside check.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of nice old...
No, I want to see the garden.
Okay.
Because I would like to see if this woman who's very good in the garden is growing anything that can be turned into a poison.
Elevin comes back in with another elf trailing her. And to play that elf, please welcome to the podcast, Tony Sindelar.
Oh, it's me, finally. Yes, Elevin returns with one. She introduces herself. Hello, travelers. I am Lucia Oaksmile. Welcome to the Temple of Light.
Hello, Lucia Oaksmile. It's a pleasure to meet you.
My boss, High Priestess Elevin is busy, but I'd be happy to show you our garden and the grounds of the temple.
I would love to see it. Could you please take me back?
All right.
And
So,
share some of the history of the garden?
Lucia Oaksmile takes you on kind of a quick tour. She's pointing out some of the like fancy architecture of the temple, and you head out into the grounds, which are small, modest, but well maintained. And she takes you on kind of a loop back around behind the temple, and there is indeed kind of a nice, simple, well kept garden there with little rows of vegetables and flowers that look very kind of carefully attended to, and she's chatting with you. So she's just standing there outside the temple, behind the temple, on a little hillside. So yes.
Any kind of freshly dug earth?
Do you want to give me a quick?
I need to learn more about the flowers that are growing. So
all right.
Would I do an investigation check here or a nature check?
That will be a nature check. I think, Nyasa, you are doing an investigation check.
Yeah.
Feel free, other people who don't want to be kind of surveilling the garden, other people can chat. With Lucia, whatever avenue of an investigation.
Okay. Oh, nature check. I got 23.
All right. You survey the flowers. They look... They look standard and mundane. Nothing particularly exotic or poisonous or dangerous.
Nothing that can be reused.
No.
It's just all decorative flowers.
All decorative flowers and traditional vegetables that you would use to
I got a 17.
All right, you are looking around, not in the garden itself, but you do notice it does look like maybe just 40, 50 feet beyond the garden, still on the kind of hill behind the temple. It does look like there is like a hole that someone has recently dug. Good size. Lucia seems oblivious to the hole or to what you're doing.
I'll go and look at the hole, I think.
All right.
I'm going to distract Lucia and say, tell me what you know about Mira. We're interested. We hear that she hasn't been seen in a while, and we're concerned about her, and we might be able to try to look for her. But can you tell me what should we know about her?
Oh, poor Mira. She was so upset about the defilement. I mean, I think we all are, but particularly Mira. She cut off all her hair in mourning, and I have not seen her in several days. I hope she's okay. I'm sure, every now and then she goes off into kind of meditate and reflection, and I'm sure that's where she is now, and hopefully she'll return. It's been days. I'm sure she'll get hungry eventually.
Where does she go? Where does she go?
Sometimes I've gone on walks with her. There's kind of a path through the bog. There's this big rock that she finds very contemplative. It's kind of a significant landmark. They call it Magnet Rock.
I may know of this rock because I think I have been to this bog.
Give me a quick history check, Nis.
I mean, Nis would know about bogs from lizard folk stuff.
Give me a history check with advantage, Nis.
Okay. Don't even need it. 17.
All right. You know of the landmark that various people refer to as Magnet Rock. It is a giant boulder that seems to be kind of made out of iron. It doesn't really fit in with the landscape around it, and it's it's a landmark just because it sticks out.
Right.
The valley around Whitesparrow has various landmarks. Some of them things that are constructed, and some of them are natural. Some of them are ancient, and that's one of several.
My people also.
It
have
is
a name
also
for that.
It is not.
But sure,
particularly
Magnet Rock.
Yeah, it is not particularly
Magnet
close.
Rock's work.
But it is somewhat in. It's at least it's in the bog that the note wanted you to leave. Not you, but Perrin was asked to leave. Not Perrin. Lord Whitesparrow was asked to leave Pennin at the white gnarled tree. They're in the same bog, but so is all of your
in the
people.
Same bog.
So is your school.
Yes, indeed. So it's sort of past the bog in the in the little valley.
So Nis,
yes.
that is what you are doing. Briar, Denala, does one of you want to do something?
I would like to roll a perception check while she's talking about her friend and just see if there's any underlying extra concern or worry or anything, that's not 100% what she's projecting.
Give me an insight for that.
Okay, that's very good. 22.
She seems sincerely worried about her friend, Mira, friend and fellow priestess, Mira.
What's in the hole?
Yes, let's get to the hole.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's in the hole?
Nyasa's has sort of sidled over
Yeah.
to this hole.
Nyasa, you have sidled over to the hole. It's a decent-sized hole. You'd almost say it's grave-sized. And looking in it, it is a hole that's about 6 feet deep. And there does seem to be kind of a moldering wooden coffin in the hole.
Well,
I'm thinking that somebody should maybe do an Arcana check on this.
All right. Well, hey, why don't I do an Arcana check?
Gwyndielle wanders over the hole. Lucius
Arcana check just 10, unfortunately.
doesn't seem like there's anything magic about the hole or the contents thereof.
Yeah.
Lucius started to notice that not everybody is looking at her wonderful garden.
I would like to distract Lucia and ask questions about plants.
All right, that is an easy.
What are plants?
I don't know, something.
What have you got planted here? Tell me about your garden.
Give me
And
a
the
How
menus,
did you get
yes.
into
whatever
gardening?
you. That's some kind of persuasion, deception, performance. Something that you're great at as a bard, and it'll be easy. Give me a 10 or higher on that.
13. Yes.
Okay, yes. Lucia's like, oh, yes, plants. Let me tell you about the plants. And she is totally engaged telling you about plants, Denala, as others drift over to the hole.
I jump down into the hole and
right.
investigate the coffin.
All right. The coffin is clearly recently disturbed. Someone has let the wooden lid is not firmly attached to it. And it's, you're in the hole with a coffin.
Well, I open the coffin. And
You do.
Open coffin.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
just doing Action Castle now. Open
Inside
coffin.
the coffin. This coffin does not have a body. In fact, has no signs of a body. It's mostly empty. There's a set of rusting, rotted armor. There's one kind of rusted knife, and there's a small glass vial. Looks like probably there was some other stuff in the coffin at some point, but it's almost empty, pretty picked over at this point.
Does the knife have a G carved into the handle?
As you pick up the knife and inspect it, it does have a G carved into the handle.
I add it to my collection.
Gosh.
These are quite valuable, you know.
Also, depending on who you get questioned by when, it's just like, oh, I'm just carrying all this evidence of crimes I didn't commit. You know?
Also,
I
make
just
sure
really
you
love how all of James' characters have this one quirk that just.
make sure you've gotten your fantasy tetanus shot.
Okay, Briar and Gwyndielle, you're there too. Do you want to do anything?
Well, he's got a knife.
He's got a knife.
We can't hear you, Rosemary.
What were the other things in
I
the
know.
coffin? A vial of some kind?
Some kind of glass vial and some kind of filthy armor.
I like to wrap a rag or a piece of cloth around my hand before picking up the vial.
Okay.
And I do that, and then I pick up the vial, and I'm going to roll an investigation check.
Do it.
And an 8.
All right.
So I clearly learned nothing.
You look at the vial. I'll tell you what you can see just with your eyes.
What can I see?
The vial is empty. There's a slight crack in the glass where it looks like, whatever was in it probably leaked out. It's old. Briar, did you want to look at the armor?
Sure. Can I look at the armor?
Yeah, give me an investigation check on the armor. I'll even say you have advantage because it's armor and you're a warrior.
Oh. That's a 15.
All right. You're
Wow.
looking at it. It looks like it was at one point a kind of nice set of fancy leather armor. But it's kind of, at this point, it's worthless. It seems like, it's been exposed to the elements. I would say you would guess that this is probably old. This has probably been buried here at least 20 years. And yeah, it's no longer, it is not valuable or useful or functional at this point. But at one
20
point, it
years,
was.
you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I just picked a number.
Just a well, going by the G on this dagger which I have borrowed.
Collected?
Stole.
Assimilated?
I mean,
Thieved.
Claimed.
Purloined.
we can play this game for a long time.
Reallocated.
I can play this game all day.
Liberated.
Yes. It was greeted as a liberator.
While it is circumstantial evidence that would not stand up in a court of law, the G on this dagger leads me to believe that these are the belongings of one
Gerald.
Gloom.
Oh.
Jeffrey.
Oh.
Greta.
Yes.
And if they have
someone
been,
is adapted.
if they have been here 20-ish years, and somebody joined this Temple of Light 20-ish years ago, I put it to you that Mira may be Gloom.
But her name starts with an M, James.
Yeah,
that makes
that
no
doesn't
sense.
make sense. As you are,
But Gloom ends with an M. I accuse you.
Wait.
as you are considering this,
now occurred to me.
you hear once again shouting, a familiar sign of trouble here in Whitesparrow on a Wednesday. Always on a Wednesday, there is some kind of commotion happening in the streets, coming around the corner of the temple. It's not really a corner; it's round, so coming around. It's got inherently no corners, but you know what I mean, people.
Coming around the curve.
Of the temple is one Lord Marlon Whitesparrow himself, rarely seen within the town of Whitesparrow. Chamberlain Brindley Ottershot is kind of limping along behind him with his arm in a sling, and he is just shouting at the top of his lungs, "They've taken Pennon! They've taken Pennon! They've taken Pennon! He's missing! He's gone! They've taken Pennon!" Screams the Chamberlain. Or screams the Lord. The Chamberlain is just lurking behind him, looking distraught.
That is
Tell
most
us what
unfortunate.
happened.
What happened? Let's see. So we have the priest is she distracted by this now, or is she still at the mercy of the bard?
And in fact, there's a couple townsfolk that have kind of come around the corner of the temple too to see what's going on, because it is unusual for Lord Marlon Whitesparrow to appear in town freaking out about his missing nephew.
So I pocket the vial for future study.
Yep.
All wrapped up in cloth and everything anyway, because I think it can come in handy. And I head over and I ask if we can go back to Perrin's chamber and check it out.
Lord Marlon Whitesparrow just kind of collapses, weeping. Brindley Ottershot, Chamberlain to Lord Marlon, steps forward to do the talking. And to play that Chamberlain, please welcome to the podcast. That's right, Dan Morin.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Lord, another one of these servants.
Worried for your job there for a second, Dan?
Might be replaced any moment. You like to keep me on the edge like this suspense.
I do.
Delighted to see you again, even up under unfortunate circumstances. Yes, Pennon, it seems, has been taken. We thought he was secured in the tower, but unfortunately it seems as though someone was able to gain access, picking the locks and removing him in the night.
They picked the locks, you say?
One must assume, since the door was locked, and the key was only in the possession of Lord Marlon.
Could we come back and look at the tower in which you kept him, and perhaps retrace the steps a bit?
I suppose you could. It seems as though it may... time may be of the essence. I'm not sure if the tower will yield any useful clues.
I think we need to... I think we need to make our way to this Ferris rock.
Magnet
Ferris rock.
Oh. I don't know. See, what I'm going to have to pull aside somebody for a quick a quick tete-a-tete. So let's see. Briar, you're just kind of standing around, right?
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
So, Briar, I'm going to pull you aside for a minute and say, do you think it makes sense for us to check out the tower to confirm that the lock was picked?
Probably not, just because we know that the other Ian's lock was picked.
Okay.
So, presuming that the person who took what's his name? What is it?
Pennon.
Pennon. Is the same person, has the same skills. Probably
okay,
left.
so we're just gonna assume it's the same MO, and now what we're trying to do is retrieve somebody before he's killed.
Unless somebody's trying to hide a crime in a series of otherwise identical crimes.
It's a copycat.
Nothing like covering up for a murder by murdering 7 other people.
Okay, team huddle. Team huddle, bring it in. Team huddle.
All right.
It looks
Bring
like
the
it's at least
Ottershot comes
possible.
into the huddle with you for a
Is
second.
it possible that this Mira is the great assassin Gloom, retired to a life of religious devotion, who so enraged by the defiling of the temple by the 2 young men has gotten her assassin gear together and been involved in a revenge plot against the 2 kids.
Enough of your
I think that
crackpot
is
theories.
absolutely
Nis.
100%
It sounds like a good
what has
working theory,
happened.
honestly.
Yeah, but
It seems like a massive overreaction, but it's plausible, and it's the only theory we've got.
I do.
I
I was just gonna say, I do wonder why kill one and kidnap the other. Why not just kill both?
Maybe she's going to torture one.
And how did she manage to hire some fellow assassins to take out the
The
Chamberlain
ancient
as
Elven
well?
Gold was probably also in the coffin, along with the ruby.
Don't we
Elven
have
gold, that's
somebody in
good, yeah.
Don't we have somebody in our party who knows about like assassin culture and,
I mean-
how they hook up with each other?
I don't think anybody knows that.
Is
yeah.
it really
I don't think any of the
hooking up,
characters know.
or
If
I mean,
only we knew
I'm not sure
more.
assassins are cut out for long-term commitment, so I
Well-
don't feel like hooking up was a pejorative term.
I think
First of all, that's very judgmental about assassins.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not judgmental at all.
Yeah.
You know, I
Just
feel like
let's point out
I
several
feel like
people you're-
assassins embody hookup culture.
Yeah.
You know, they meet somebody, they have a quick connection,
and then they
meet.
leave,
And then they
and
murder
they
them.
may be dead or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's not judgmental.
Look, all of you have murdered people today. I mean, except for Lisa.
Yeah.
I think that Nyasa should, if we go to Magnet Rock, I think it is worth Nyasa having a conversation with whoever we find there, rather than we go in.
Swords blazing.
Swords blazing.
Yes.
Yes,
Spells
I was trying to
ablazing.
think daggers drawn, but
I mean, should we potentially be prepared for combat? Should the conversation not end well?
I mean, I think always, but I'm hopeful that we can like talk our way out of this.
Great.
And yeah, because I think we know Gloom, and certainly Nyasa has a lot of. I joked when I was talking to Tony. I think Nyasa has written Gloom fan fiction at some point in her teenage years.
On LiveJournal.
Yes. Or no,
They
basically
have LiveJournal in D&D.
it's on
It's a
parchments
LiveJournal.
that have been nailed to random like notice boards.
What are these? 95 theses? No, it's really good fan fiction. I don't know.
I'd just like to note that I saw the use of the royal we, and I'm not fooled. But anyway,
I'm fooled.
yeah. I would agree with Nyasa that we should probably investigate the rock.
I mean, I think I've revealed at least to some of the members of the party that I might have had a past in the changing people's lives profession.
Well,
Yes.
Nis is going to offer to lead the way to through the bog to the Magnet Rock, since that is where the bog is generally where her people are from.
I think probably I don't know if we see somebody or if we're getting close to the rock, whether some of the party should hang back. I mean, if I go in
Volunteer
alone,
to hang back.
if I go in alone, I'll probably die. But I think if we go in too many people, it might be seen as an act of aggression.
Well, I could pose as your
Lizard
native
thing.
guide, whatever, that you could people never pay attention to the lizard folk.
I would go
Okay.
with that. That sounds
Yeah, that
And
sounds good.
We've seen that Nis is advantageous at close range, even though Nis tends to prefer long range. I'd like to point out that I'm a bard, and therefore I might be good with a fireball, but I'm better off at a distance than I am right next to somebody who can just repeatedly stab me to death.
I'm not
Okay.
going to volunteer to go because I'm not very useful in combat.
Right. Well,
You
I'm
can stand
hearing.
next to me.
Yes.
What I'm hearing here is that me and this are gonna.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And we'll be right behind you at a respectable distance of approximately 20 paces.
Nis would rather be lobbing spells from a distance as well, but it may be that in our party, the logical lie to make it seem like there are only two of us would be Nis, unless somebody else has a better idea.
The only thing is, if we're trying, if Gloom is indeed this, or if Mira is Gloom, this master assassin, she might be wise to our trying to pull a fast one.
I mean, Briar would also probably be exceptionally useful at close range.
Yeah, definitely more effective close up, and also not at all stealthy. So,
well, then maybe Briar and Nyasa should take the lead, and the other three will hang back in the weeds. And you know what? If Mira is Gloom and spots us, then so be it. We're not. That's so be it. I think we're all hopeful that it's going to be one of these things where we have a conversation and it's a very special episode of whatever show this is, where it's like, it's okay. Those kids were bad, but you shouldn't have killed them. You know, kind of like something like that.
Well, I'm been saving up all my persuasion checks here. So
yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And also, Gwyndielle, we're probably going to need some of your fabulous healing skills, because I'm guessing the Penna may not be in the best of shapes when we find him. Possibly
We'll see.
triangular.
All right. I will load up my arsenal of spells.
Shall we go to the bog?
To the bog.
Yeah.
Everyone's
To the
favorite
bog, to the
place
bog,
to
to
go.
the
The
bog.
bog, nature's
Squelch,
sewer.
squelch.
Nis, it is, it is your favorite terrain. It is where you are at home. You lead your way. And, I'm going to say Nis knows the direct path. Probably not, perhaps we'll say the driest path, but it is the direct path to the Magnet Rock. Magnet Rock, you kind of push through the foliage and see Magnet Rock in a clearing. I've got a map I'm going to take you all to. Let's see here.
Squelch, squelch, squelch.
Squish, 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 squish.
Oh, my
And
boots.
so you arrive at a clearing with a huge outcrop of a kind of iron-laced rock jutting high up out of the grounds. The remnants of something that must have landed here millions of years ago. The front surface of the rock has been set with slabs of slate to create kind of the appearance of a building entryway. Someone has carefully etched strange symbols into the rock around a large crevice that appears to open into the darkness beyond for those that seek to go into Magnet Rock. But standing between you and the interior of Magnet Rock are a quartet of disreputable looking individuals far less reputable than yourselves. Let's just be honest, these people look like thugs, like murderers and scoundrels. They're standing there wearing kind of stern faces, leather armor, beady eyes, kind of stone clubs and bone-bladed axes, which seem somewhat strange, and all of them sporting a variety of tattoos that look not so friendly. One of them has he's wearing kind of a leather vest, and he's got a big chest tattoo depicting a pair of bloody axes, which seems like it might be the symbol of some kind of mercenary gang. So I think you see them and they see you. You can decide who's in the front and who hangs back. They look ready for a fight. They've got their weapons drawn, but are also just kind of standing there by the entrance to Magnet Rock.
I was thinking that we would have an opportunity to do we've got the rubies from the previous people that we mowed down, and whether we could have convinced them that we were also in the pay of Gloom.
You could certainly try that,
That would have been good. Yeah.
Well,
It's not too late to do that.
I quickly turn around and draw a little blood tear under my eye.
Guys, I have paint.
Do you actually have paint?
I do.
I have a disguise kit in my thing.
Briar,
too.
why do you
I can
have
do
paint?
it for everyone. So everyone
good.
just turn around.
All right,
Okay.
good turn.
Just very
I'm
cash.
studying the skyline and the trees, looking around.
Right. So everyone now, yeah. So
Oh, I do have ink.
I put my armor, I think, into full native look of
some of you may
assassiny rogue.
more convincing convicted murderers / mercenaries than others, so plan accordingly.
Well, I'll go at the front.
I should probably just quickly mention to everybody else, I can disguise myself as somebody who we have previously seen.
You absolutely can.
Oh, wow.
Then-
That's a
which
skill
is
that's
a
good to
very
have.
useful skill to have. So
You
if there's...
you saw all the people we murdered.
Indeed.
So-
Yes, I did.
One of those might work.
All right, I would like to disguise myself as the first person who was murdered, please.
Okay.
Wait,
Bearing in mind, this may
Wait,
not
do
go
we
very
all
far
know
because
this
I
about
don't.
her, or are we all like surprised when she does it?
That's magic. It happens.
We
Yeah.
haven't
I
seen
mean,
her
I
do this
mentioned it before.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it, but
Okay.
nobody's seen
I mean,
it.
I also have a disguise kit. I mean, with that, I don't know if I can go as far as.
I
You
mean,
are not-
disguising myself uses one of my spell slots, so
Yeah,
I then
disguise is magic, so it's much more effective than what you could do with a disguise kit.
Well,
But
I can just
at
do
the same time. Yeah, at the same time, even if I disguise myself, I don't know much about these people because we didn't exactly converse with them before we slaughtered them. So it may not be the most convincing of disguises.
Well, I
So-
mean, I think I've got the assassin knowledge, so with the blood tier, let's try the
The subterfuge.
yeah. We like a bit of subterfuge on this podcast.
I like any
Absolutely,
plan
the
that
deception and sleight of hand.
I like any plan that doesn't involve rope. Please continue.
Oh, well, let us walk straight up to them.
Is
Am
this
I
all?
disguising myself first or not?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
You disguise yourself. The rest of you look disreputable.
I'm
So you
extremely
have,
intimidating.
Denala, you have used magic to perfectly simulate one of the thugs that assaulted the Chamberlain. Nyasa, you have used your disguise kit to make yourself look like a generic thug or assassin. Briar, you're striding up. You've got. What do you want to be doing?
Well, I've used my paint kit, and I can paint anyone else's blood drop
Okay.
tattoos if they need to. And I'm very intimidating, so I'm just looking intimidating.
Yep. Nis and Gwyndielle, what is your plan? I use the word plan in quotation marks.
Stand
Hide
a
behind
few
a rock.
stand a few feet back.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there's a rock.
There's
I'm
plenty
currently
of
standing behind
trees, shrubs, and rocks to hide behind, where you would
Yeah,
only
I
be 30
don't-
or 40 feet back from any
Yeah.
conversation or, let's just say, situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Nyasa, Briar, and Denala, in various versions of costumes / fancy dress / disguises, approach the 4 guards that are standing outside Magnet Rock. They kind of look at you wearily, but not, aggressively. I'll just so they all look somewhat disreputable. They're wearing leather armor. There's 2 kind of in the middle that look particularly kind of tough and menacing. The 2 on the kind of flanking them look a little less intimidating. And to play at least one of these guards, please welcome to the podcast, Dan Morin. Dan, which guard are you going to play?
I'll be playing one of these guys in the middle here, who will
All right.
see them walk up and say, "Oi, Razor, is that you?" Oh,
Yes.
this is. Where have you been? What happened to Boken and Savannah? I thought you took them, went into town to kill that Chamberlain.
They're still drinking. Chamberlain's dead.
Give me a bluff check, Denala, because
Is that deception?
Deception. Sorry, in 5e it's deception. You're lying, but I will
12.
say, you know what? You have advantage because because you built a disguise.
All right. Well, 22 on my second roll.
All right, much better.
You took out the Chamberlain. That's good work. It's not often we get paid to do something as fun as kill noblemen. You know the rest
Never
of the
happens anymore.
Yeah, you know the rest of the guys? Of course you do. You know the guys.
Yeah. I've been drinking a bit though, so.
Oh, right. Sure. Well,
Always celebrate after a
Celebration.
kill.
Celebration.
yeah, sure. There's Arnold, Chris. You know this is Razor, Conan the Razor. I told you about him. He's a really nasty piece of work.
We're here to see the boss. We've got some stuff that we need to talk
And
about.
you are.
Bob, and
You guys know
Town.
Bob? I don't know. Bob.
I broke out of the prison. You know the prison down south.
Oh yeah,
and
we know the prison down south. He points at like
Yeah.
a tattoo on his cheek. He's got one of those like.
Yeah, I point at mine as well. You know, it's like, yeah, we know what it was like.
Sure. Yeah. Would you?
I just stand
When were you?
nodding.
When did you serve there? When did you do your time?
I got out a while ago. You know, usually I put makeup on to cover up this tattoo,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know,
it's hard to find work. I understand.
Yeah,
People are so judgmental.
so I've been out a while, but I got hired here by Razor to help them with this job.
Razor, you got hiring and firing ability. That's you're moving up in the organization.
Gave me this ruby, this nice blood red ruby to join in.
Yeah, we all got one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I've not met the boss directly, so this is kind of more of an HR issue that I need to sort of sign some
He needs
stuff.
to fill out
Just-
the paperwork.
Something I should have done a little while ago. Hey, Asa, please give me a deception roll.
Okay.
You can have advantage too. You brought a prop. I think that makes every lie better.
I
having a
don't
prop.
need it because I got a 23.
All right, you somehow are lying expertly.
All right. Well, yeah. I you know, we all remember our time in the prison doing hard labor, breaking those rocks, doing laundry. So much work. But it's nice to be out.
Fresh
so
air,
yeah.
you know?
Nice catching up with you,
So,
Razor. Always good to see you. Yeah, you're just one messed up guy, Razor.
Be well.
I'm
So
just
is
standing
that-
here nodding, pretending that I've had a little bit too much to drink today, but that I've been very successful.
So is it the okay? The three of us go up ahead.
Oh, no can do, Chief. Sorry. You know the deal. Nobody in, nobody out.
But the paperwork.
I know. Yeah. What do we care about paperwork, right? We're hardened criminals.
What should
Yeah,
we do with the
but
boy?
we've got a code, man.
Yeah.
What should we
It's
do
an
with the boy?
unwritten code. What should you do with what boy?
The boy. We were told to bring the boy here.
What boy? I don't see a boy.
Ian. He's behind the rock.
Well, why is he behind the rock?
He's not in great shape.
He's too heavy.
There's 4 of you.
Nah, we just left him there. He's unconscious. He's not going anywhere.
We got the boy in the rock. That's the boss came by with the boy. That was
But
the
this
whole
is
plan.
the other boy. She told me to get him.
We've got his body. Didn't we mention he was dead? The one she poisoned.
Okay, why do you have a dead body? Why are you walking around with a dead body? That's incriminating.
Evidence.
No.
You've got to get rid of the evidence.
Well, why are you
this
bringing
could-
it here?
Because a bog is a great place to get rid of a body.
Well, then leave it in
You
the
should
box.
know
Don't
this.
bring it to the rock.
That is actually true. The bog is
The
a very
lizard
good
knows
place
what I'm talking about.
to hide a body.
Oh yeah, this is our lizard friend who's like standing 20 feet away.
Hello.
You guys are
I
gonna
hope you
bring
enjoy the rock.
sheriff
He's-
down on
he's
all
a-
of us.
Disappears from a bush.
He's our local guy. Don't worry about him. You know lizard folk. They don't know very much.
Look, you guys are going to bring the
Not very
sheriff down
intelligent.
on all of us. I think you better just clear out. The boss was very clear. Nobody goes in. We are here to make sure that nobody goes in.
What about people coming out?
I said nobody in, nobody out. Was that not clear enough for you?
What if they have to pee?
It's a bog. Go anywhere.
But it's
Yeah,
a
just
rock.
just not in a
It doesn't
fountain.
have drainage.
Oh God.
Listen, Razor, I understand you had a little bit to drink. But maybe you should just go back to town and keep drinking with the rest of them and just let us do our thing here.
You know what? Here's an idea. We'll guard the rock for you, and you guys can go and get a drink, because I know you really want one.
Here's an idea for you. You can get murdered by the boss when she comes out and finds that you're a stranger we left in charge of the rock.
That might
I'll
happen
stay here.
anyway.
I'll take your place. Go on.
Yeah.
You can go
I
and have a
mean,
drink.
you at least
She
two.
knows me.
Yeah. And I was hired by somebody she knows, so I'm like almost as trustworthy.
She's my grand boss, as they say in job advice columns.
He looks at his friend and goes, Stony, you believe this? They want us to go and have a drink. I don't think we can do that. Do we?
I rolled a
boss isn't
23.
gonna come out for
Shakes his head. He's
hours.
very serious. Doesn't say anything. Just shakes his head.
The boss isn't going to come out for hours. Surely you want to go and have a little bit of a break.
I
Sit down.
gotta be
tell
honest.
you what.
I'm more scared of her than I want a drink.
Give me an extremely hard persuasion check.
Okay.
Denala.
Oh,
18.
He seems
Hey,
unconvinced.
I think we're gonna stay here. If you want to bring us something from the pub, I won't say no.
we could
I'm
do that.
I'm a polite person. If I'm
I
offered
think-
a gift,
You
I
want
will
some onion soup
partake
too?
of it.
I'm a
Yeah,
polite
I would
person.
love
If
some
I'm offered
often
a
soup.
gift, I will take
I think we could bring the four of you a really nice beer. Why don't we go
And some onion soup.
and
Sure.
some onion soup? Why don't we do that?
That would be very kind of you. I respect you as a former fellow inmate. I
It's
trust
like
you.
Damon Runman has entered the chat.
Your tattoo is very shiny. It looks new.
He polishes it daily.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be proud of this, man. You got to
Oh,
show.
I
it.
thought you said you
Shiny
covered
Bob.
it with makeup.
Yeah, that's why he has to polish it every time
Yeah,
he takes
I
the
mean-
makeup off.
All right, I don't really understand.
Tell you what, we'll go get you some.
Well, you continue to talk to the one thug. The other thugs look extremely bored and tired of all of you.
What I'm
They're
thinking.
just looking for something else to do in this bog except talk to you.
What I'm thinking is that we basically poison the four of them.
Yes.
Do we have poison?
I might.
Let me check my equipment to see what I have.
I could also potentially use another spell to put people to sleep.
I could just
All right,
stab them.
Well,
I mean,
we're-
that's
we're-
also a plan.
I think we fall back on the stabbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
think let's try
typically you fall
poisoning.
forward onto the stabbing.
No, you fall forward. Yeah.
I
Remember,
would vote
people,
for trying
stab
the
forward,
poison
spring
approach
back.
Well, I
slash
I don't-
knockout drugs.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
carry
So
poison,
are you
but is it
carrying-
possible
is
for us to look
anybody carrying-
around to see if there's anything we can use?
Potentially,
yes,
Nis might
we
know
are in the
what
land of
we
poison.
can use.
I think Nis would know, yeah.
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 Some.
I will just. It'll occur to you as you're thinking about this very improvised plan that would have been great to improvise back in town. That being able to poison enough to incapacitate four relatively severe-looking guards / murderers would take some pretty substantial poison. I'm not sure if any of you have
Yeah.
that. If you have that as part of your magical abilities or equipment, that's a thing we could talk about, but I don't know if you do, and that might be beyond the scope of what you could do on a Wednesday. Like, you got to mail away for it, and then wait.
We
for
have that
Wednesdays.
vial, but that vial didn't
You know,
have.
Whitesparrow is a
It's empty.
small
Yeah.
I have a
town.
shovel.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, the
there's-
empty vial.
There's not a
The
24-hour.
vial's mostly empty. I'm not sure we
24-hour,
could replicate it. I mean, for
Yeah.
all that this is
There's not a
CSI
24-hour
Whitesparrow, I
poison
don't
shop.
have a lot of tech
Do you
on
also have a
hand.
replicator? Because that would that would open a lot of doors for you in this world.
Look, if I can
I
have a
mention
robot
that this-
panda.
Yeah, did I mention that this is set in the Star Trek world and we just never get into that?
all in the
Everything's in the
holodeck
holodeck
here,
for
yeah.
this whole adventure.
I was wondering about
Computer end
Yeah,
program.
Arch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all ensigns. I've not mentioned that in your backstory.
It's a real lower decks RPG system.
Right. Well, I have a candle, a lute,
so-
and some jeweler's tools.
I think that Denala,
Yeah.
Briar, and Nyasa drop back a second and somehow reconvene with Gwyndielle and Nis, who revealed himself and are, around the corner in the bog from this situation.
Okay, at the risk of
So,
sounding
you-
culturally insensitive, is maybe now the time to talk to the bog-dwelling lizard person about what they can tell us in terms of tactical advantages and disadvantages in the area?
I mean, what do you think, Tony? Is there anything special that Nis might know about this, or is it really just like, well, where's the
Well,
bog
Nis
is
knew
here
how
and
to
the
get
big
here,
rock
sure.
is there, and
I mean, I don't want to create a situation where
know,
Nis is like, just because I'm a lizard person doesn't mean I know about swamps.
Nis knows a lot.
Kind of your bog standard bog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nis, give me a quick history check on Magnet Rock.
4.
Oh.
Heard of it about 20 minutes ago.
Magnets,
How do they work?
You know what? I will tell Briar, Nyasa, and Denala, give me a quick perception check on Magnet Rock since you were very close to Magnet Rock.
Okay.
12.
I got a natural 20, and this is a real dice.
Wow.
Not loaded.
Nyasa, you noticed when you were near the rock that your daggers, like you could feel them kind of tingling in your various zillions of sheaths that you have all over your murderer's outfit. You think that there may be something strange about using metal weapons in proximity to Magnet Rock.
Interesting.
And in fact, perhaps these guards are briefed on that because looking, you notice they are all wearing leather armor and specifically carrying stone clubs, which looks very primitive. And the berserkers in the middle there were carrying axes with blades made out of bone.
That's notable.
So there you go. That's your tactical information about Magnet Rock.
So
It is a magnet and a rock at the same time. Okay.
basically, we should probably lose all of our metal weapons, at least if we're going in. For the fight outside, we're probably fine.
Well, the good news is if it's magnetic, then it's pulling our weapons towards it.
I was
which
thinking
may
that we
give
just
you an advantage with the daggers.
If we throw the daggers at them, they will travel faster
and harder.
But don't they
Have you
know
ever
to
done-
duck and just let them stick to the magnet?
Have you ever used a magnetic dartboard, by the way?
Yeah.
Science has no place here.
I guess now is not the time for me to put on my scale mail, is what I'm hearing. Unless I'm stuck to the rock.
You don't know.
It's like those things where you can jump with like the Velcro and like Velcro yourself to walls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
This is the metal version of that.
So, I would just ask Nis if he knows.
She.
Does she know if there is a way around this rock? Because maybe there's another way in.
Nis, you do not know of
No.
another entrance into Magnet Rock. In fact, this is it's a little unclear. Is this an entrance into the rock or into a cavern beneath the rock?
I just
Well,
like
they
to
said
have a
no-
quick look around to make sure there's nobody sort of lurking in trees or, out of, like, not directly in front of us, please.
Sure. You see the four guards are still kind of just on the edge of your periphery of your vision, lurking / stationed in front of Magnet Rock. You are otherwise alone here in the bog.
So, Nis looks at everybody and goes, "Well, we're gonna take these guys out." Is that
I think
what's happening
we gave them every opportunity to leave, to go and have a nice drink.
You tried to get them fired.
Yeah. Can I stab them now?
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would like to set them on fire.
maybe the diplomacy will work for the next stage, but I think violence is the only answer here.
All right.
It's a haunting
Wow.
statement coming from James.
Yeah. That was James. That's one of the most American things he
Yes.
said. Is the plan just to rush into battle, or do you have a plan? Again, I use the word loosely. A plan. Do you have one?
I would say, given the number of people that we have, and we have the element of surprise, if like everybody picks a buddy and we kill them,
That's not how buddies work.
A target.
Oh, the
Yeah.
buddy
Yeah.
system.
Everybody
Yeah,
should
there
pick a
you go.
target.
A goal.
Yeah. A goal, an objective.
so like
I'm just going to sort of wander around like I'm drunk.
Mhm.
So I'm over here.
Fair enough.
well, I'm
Classic D&D.
Great detail. Yeah, everybody pick a target.
so I'm gonna go up to this tree. I think that's a tree.
Yes.
And I'm going to attempt to hide behind the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stealth check.
Yep.
I have rolled 26.
All right. Nyasa stealthily sneaks up through the foliage and takes up a position behind a tree within 10 feet of the nearest guard guarding the front of Magnet Rock. What do other people want to do?
I would like to
Briar?
also try and hide behind my
Denala?
tree, if possible, please.
All right, Denala, give me a quick stealth check.
I just did it. 17.
All right. You can also get relatively close to the guards, hiding behind trees and rocks and shrubs if you want. Okay. So you could be like here if you wanted. Cool. Nis?
Nis is standing there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are we doing?
Yeah, what's our strategy?
We're
attacking.
Two of your friends have already left this.
We are going
I thought
to.
it was clear. We're going to take him out.
I don't need to be closer than this. So why would I go in
All right.
there?
Nis is just behind a shrub, a good distance from the guards. Gwyndielle, you are already behind a rock. Do you want to do anything different?
No, I think I'll stay there for now.
All right, Briar.
I'm not
what's
really.
your plan?
I'm a cleric, not a fighter.
Yeah. Briar.
I think I'm going to approach our friend. I've forgotten his name, and as if
Thanks.
I'm going to talk to him, but then just stab him.
I don't think you were
All right,
introduced.
Wait, does
So
anyone else
Briar-
see the labels Berserker on those two dudes in the middle there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Berserker.
That's just. Briar, you
Kill
just
all
stride
humans.
across. Briar, you just stride across the swamp. Dan, you play the thug. You're gonna wave to.
Hey, welcome back.
Briar. Briar, you just walk right up to this this berserker, and
I don't think we've actually met. My name is.
So I don't know how this works. I just stab him. But that's a.
Yep.
Do we have to roll initiative, or do I get a?
You're gonna do that, and then you
Okay.
have to roll initiative, basically.
I feel bad for this guy. I'm sorry.
That was. I like to bring a little life to the character.
Not that bad.
So that's sorry, that's a 19.
Yep, that'll hit a berserker.
Oh. Yeah. So you just stab him basically like in the side.
Oh, that's my
Cuts
favorite
right,
side.
right through his leather armor. He looks very startled. His friends all look ready to fight. Roll us damage, Briar.
Oh, yeah, that. Wait, I always forget this part.
I like that she's looking over. It's like that she's got like a, I don't know,
Oh no, snake eyes. That's 5.
D&D advisor over there. Okay.
Okay. I think it's
That's what it
multiple
is,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. But it's funny. It's like just off screen
Now what do I do?
is a whole party of D&D players.
Yes.
You didn't play the adventure, Jason, where Glenn's child served as D&D caddy, recommending spells.
No, but
for
we
Glenn.
should all be
Oh,
so
that was
lucky as to
great.
have a spell caddy.
Oh, he just
Okay.
she just
All right.
stood there behind him whispering things. It was very.
Very good.
Yeah.
Perhaps fireball, sir. So the berserker gets cut in the side for 5 damage. 5 is not a lot of damage, but emotionally, it's devastating.
I
I'm gonna
I thought you were
ask-
gonna bring me a beer.
I'm gonna ask all of you to roll initiative. Dan, I've given you control of all the
All
bad
right.
guys, but maybe we can
Yep.
share them. There's 2 berserkers and 2 scouts. They have different stat
I'm
blocks.
up.
The berserkers are big and burly. The scouts are here. The scouts are being paid.
Okay, so my plan to go for a scout was not a terrible one.
Berserker.
Dan, what do you want me to roll?
I just
versus
rolled
what are you
initiative for
rolling?
both of them since I had dice from. They did
All right.
both pretty poorly, though the berserkers
Oh.
did worse. You got
So I think basically Briar specifically got a surprise round, which we've done. I think you weren't exactly all coordinated in your attack, but you were basically able to position yourselves. So Nyasa and Denala, the guards don't know where you are until you reveal your location by attacking from it, and Gwyndielle and Nis have hung back behind some cover. Lisa, did you roll initiative for Gwyndielle?
No, I can do that right now.
Do that right now.
Rolling initiative for Gwyndielle. Sorry.
Dan, you want to control scouts or berserkers?
I think I've fallen a little bit in love with the berserkers, so I think I'm going to use them.
Okay.
Okay, for initiative,
Nobody
rolled
asked the
19.
berserker's name. 19. Very
19.
good.
Well, I think you referred
Yeah.
to one of them as Stony, because his name is
Stonehammer.
Stonehammer,
Mhm.
and that is Heavy Wallace.
Yeah.
That you just stabbed.
Nobody
inside.
asked Heavy Wallace's
Heavy
name.
Wallace?
Nobody asked Heavy
Oh, that's a
Wallace.
great
Wallace.
name. Oh my gosh.
He's a great guy.
I'm
If you
gonna
got to know
rename
him.
No, I just really like the name Heavy. Now I want to get a cat so I can name it Heavy Wallace. I think that would be a great name for an animal. Come here, Heavy Wallace.
Is it just me, or do we only have one berserker in the turn order list?
It's both. They're both acting the same.
They go together.
They're
Yeah.
twins.
They go together.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let me resort here
All right.
and give you the order. So first up will be Nyasa, followed by Gwyndielle, followed by Briar, followed by Nis, followed by the Scouts, followed by Denala, and Heavy Wallace and Stonehammer bringing up the rear of the initiative order. I've got everybody in there, right? All right, Nyasa, you are concealed behind a tree. You have seen your friend Briar just take a chunk out of Heavy Wallace. What are you going to do?
So I'm hidden, which I think gives me advantage. And if I have advantage, I can do sneak attack. So I am going to throw my first dagger at Heavy Wallace.
Okay.
And I have rolled...
Your dagger range is significant, so we don't care that Heavy Wallace is 30 feet away, from 20 feet away.
I think that's within my range anyway.
So.
I rolled 24 to hit.
Oh God, that dagger goes right into Heavy Wallace is looking down at his ribs where he's been cut by Briar, and then suddenly there's just a dagger in his right shoulder.
Where'd that even come from?
A hilt. Yeah.
Aw.
And to add insult to injury, it was actually one of the Gloom daggers that I threw at him.
It's rusty. That's not cool.
I know.
Oh, the
It's
tetanus
like
is
I hope
gonna
his
leave a
tetanus
mark.
shots up today.
bonus damage.
There's no healthcare in the Gloom's.
Yeah, healthcare for
Marauders.
mercenaries is not good.
FYI.
It's really, honestly, it's the source of a lot of the systemic issues in and around Whitesparrow.
I will note that dagger range is only 20 feet. So if you get any farther away, you're dealing with disadvantage.
Yep.
I'm sticking with this
Nyasa,
tree.
Did you roll
I'm
damage?
just about.
I think that tree threw a dagger at me.
I think he sees that there's someone behind that tree.
I rolled 3 plus 3, 6 plus 6, so 12 damage from dagger 1.
Dan, you'll put that in. I'd already put in Briar's damage.
That's not great. He doesn't like that.
And as a bonus action, I shall throw another dagger. Also, Gloom's second dagger.
Wow.
Because
Just leaving, in case you guys need to run away, you
Now you
Yeah, it's like
framed her for killing her own
murder
married-
for murder of by their boss.
Yeah, I don't think Sheriff Willowmane investigates crime scenes this far away from town,
No.
but this would be a big...
She's too busy complaining about crime at the bar.
I wipe down fingerprints off the daggers first before I threw them.
Like all good assassins do.
Yeah,
Free action.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wear gloves. And that is a 15 plus 5, a 20.
That hits.
That will hit.
Sadly, I can not do bonus damage on this one, but I roll another 6 damage.
Can you do your? Do you have 2 weapon fighting, or are you just?
Yeah, this is 2 weapon fighting. So it's a bonus action for if a thrown weapon, I can do a second thrown.
And you get to add your modifier for damage to that one too. Usually you don't with the second one.
Oh, maybe that's the case that I can't do the.
There's a special thing you have to take if you want to be able to do your modifier damage on top of the straight dagger damage.
Okay, so
for
in
the
that case,
second.
it's just 3 damage.
3 damage.
Oh no.
Ah, daggers and stabbed. Oh, this day. It's Wednesday. Wednesday's usually my favorite day.
I'm gonna miss Heavy Wallace. I'm really investing in him.
Yeah.
I was just hanging out with my friend's watches in Top Hat Junior. He's really angling to get himself on the spin-off.
Yeah, he's gonna get murdered.
Brutally, by the sound of it.
So, yeah. Gwyndielle, you're behind a rock. You're watching your friends stab and throw daggers at some unscrupulous-looking folks in front of Magnet Rock. Looks like you're coming around from behind the rock.
I'm coming around from behind the rock because it occurs to me that I could probably disorient Stony Hammer by throwing a guiding bolt at him.
Oh,
I've got that, you know.
So what happens?
What do I roll here? Because I can tell you the damage is 46.
You'll have to roll an attack roll with guided
You make
bolt.
a ranged spell attack first to see if it
I
hits.
do what now? Okay.
Roll a d20, and there should be it should tell you to add your spellcasting modifier, spell attack bonus.
All right. So D20, rolled that. Okay,
If
that
you
was
look
an 18.
If you look at the top
Wow.
of your list,
That
that's going to
definitely
hit.
hits.
Yeah. Normally, if you look at the top of your list of spells,
Okay.
it'll probably say spell attack modifier plus something.
Okay. All right. So that was an 18. Plus 5.
Yeah, that'll definitely.
You definitely hit.
And then the damage, I rolled for damage, and that was 18.
All right. Wow.
18? Wow.
So, what is guiding? Well, it's 46. 46.
Yeah.
A flash of light streaks out of your holy symbol, Gwyndielle,
Yep, uh-huh.
as radiant damage just burns into Stony Hammer's face.
Uh-huh.
He does not like that. The next attack roll made against Stony Hammer before the end of your next turn has advantage because he is like glowing. It is like there's like a disco light on this mercenary. Also, he just took, what was it, 18 damage?
Yes.
I dealt
That's
it. It's
not good.
Yeah.
He dealt it. He looks displeased with this
All right, I'm
situation.
going to run back behind the stone.
All right. Good choice.
Having done that.
Briar, you are face to face with Heavy Wallace, and Stony Hammer is right there as well. Heavy Wallace still looks a bit confused about the whole thing where you are murdering him.
Is this because I wouldn't let you in?
Yes.
Yes, I mean it is. I can't argue.
Well, I mean, technically my job.
Yeah, true. And I only rolled an 8.
Quit your job.
8 with your
Yes.
adding your modifier. All right. So you swing wildly over his head. He dodges while looking confused about the whole situation. Anything else, Briar?
Nope, I think that's all I can do. That's all I can do.
All right. Nis, you are back in the the adjacent bog. It's kind of calm over here. Mud's some really good quality mud here.
Yeah. Nis feels at home, and from here she can sight up the scout and on the left there, and hit him with the crossbow bolt.
All right.
Gonna do a little ranged attacking for Nis. So here we go. Oh. Come on, I gotta get keyboard access in a floating window. That's tricky.
Fun times.
And it's only an 11.
Your crossbow bolt, it seems to be almost like it gets pulled by the magnet rock.
Oh,
and
magnet
it
rock.
misses the scout wildly.
All right. That's it.
I think
Nis puts the
All right.
crossbow away and prepares magical spells instead.
Yeah.
The scout is next. Let's see. I got 2 scouts. On the left is Arnor. Arnor has seen. Well, Nis, you fired at him. Arnor is going to take out a longbow and fire back. Little sniper fight here. Let me just check.
Do I have cover?
No.
I'm in the weeds, but okay. Fine.
Standing in the wide open bog.
Yeah. No more than he does.
Okay.
He's
It
gonna
sounded
make 2
the flavor text suggested that I was sort of completely surrounded by stuff, and now all of a sudden I'm in the wide open. So,
well, I imagined you were like on your belly, and then you stood up to fire a crossbow bolt.
All right,
how's that?
It's
if
not
you
acceptable.
Want, you can try and hide. What? You can try and hide next turn if you want. I'll tell you, he has a longbow, and he also, the scout is a scout. He has keen hearing and sight. He has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or sight to find his targets.
Okay.
I think if it was a less hunter-inclined character, you might have had a chance, but you don't. So, guess what? 2 longbow shots are going to come firing in your direction. I did not roll great. 9 probably hits a tree near you. 13 might hit you. All right. They whiz past your head, nowhere near you. And you hear a scout swear something. The other scout, this is Chris. Chris saw Nyasa throwing these daggers from behind the tree. Feels like you're behind a tree. You would have cover. So Chris is going to rush into combat, comes running around the tree at you, Nyasa. He's got a short sword out, and he is going to make 2 attacks on you. Ooh, I'm rolling much better. 23 and 14.
23 will hit.
All right.
How excited you're about how you're rolling.
Screams, "Ah! For Watless!" And
You'll get him, Chris.
Cuts into your side with a short sword made of bone. You're going to take 5 piercing damage, and then you block the second attack. Denala, you are currently hiding by a tree nearby. You see this skirmish between Chris and Nyasa breaking out. Your friend Briar is over there face to face with 2 berserkers, and another scout has busted out a longbow. What will you do, Denala?
I'm gonna try setting everything on fire, because that seems like a solid approach.
That is the Dungeons and Dragons way.
So I'm gonna try and set Chris on fire, as he seems to be getting closer to me as well. So I rolled that. I rolled a 7. Oh, sorry, 8. Can't count. 8. That's
right,
probably not going to do much difference, but,
You set a nearby shrub on fire. Nis glares at you from across the battlefield.
Sorry, Nis.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to set the swamp on fire. I'm trying to set the people on fire.
To be fair, it is a swamp. It's unlikely to spread to the other parts of the swamp thanks to you're very well hydrated. But yes, you did not set a guard on fire. You set part of the swamp on fire.
Thanks for trying.
I mean, that was the aim.
Anything else, Denala?
I don't believe I can do anything else. Actions in combat.
I will say
just the one, I think.
By casting your attack, also you have probably revealed your location here.
But there's a possibility
behind
that people will be distracted by the swamp being on fire. So maybe they aren't aware of my precise location. Just approximately.
Maybe. Heavy Wallace and associate berserker Stonehammer, Stony to his friends. It is your turn.
You guys
Dan.
are not his friends. Heavy Wallace.
Not anymore.
He looks, Briar, you see in his eyes just a little bit like a tinge of sadness and disappointment as he, breaks out his axe and says, "It's not personal," and he takes a swing at you.
Is he berserking?
He
Dan,
is
or not
berserk.
yet?
He's not. Well, he's attacking.
It's not personal.
He's I lost my d20s. I was like, where did they go? They fell on the floor. He is attacking, perhaps recklessly, if not berserkly. Yes, so he's attacking. So he's going to get advantage, but you will also have advantage to hit him next time. And he gets 1 attack. Let's see how this goes.
That's where I went to grad school.
Berserkly, you.
Berserkly.
Nice. Heavy Wallace rolled a critical. That is
Briar, this May
25.
Jess, did you bring a backup character?
I
From
did
the
not.
swamp emerges. Hey.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's see what this looks like.
You may have. You're a fighter. You probably have more hit points than other characters.
I have some hit points.
That'll be 20 damage.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, gosh.
Do you have more than 20 hit points?
No.
Briar splashes into the swampy ground in front of Magnet Rock. How hurt are you, Briar?
-2.
Okay.
All right, that could be a lot worse. You are unconscious, bleeding in the swamp.
Wow.
Strong opening move for Heavy Wallace.
Stonehammer, not seeing that Wallace seems to have things under control despite being stabbed and cushioned with daggers. Geez, who else can he see? Maybe Nis?
I think Nyasa is probably your target.
He sees Chris running after Nyasa, so he's gonna run up there and.
Especially he doesn't have a ranged weapon, right?
So he's gonna run up and take another. He's gonna take a swing with his own axe. He will also attack recklessly because that is how Stony Stonehammer does his job. And he rolls a 21.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Which will be 13 damage.
Still standing.
Okay.
Growls.
Not much.
Man, a few words, Stonehammer.
Yeah. Nyasa, it is your turn. There's a scout and a berserker in front of you. The berserker has been lit up by guiding bolts such that attacks on the berserker have advantage. But also, I don't know if you want to be fighting too.
I really don't. I kind of.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Gwyndielle's gonna be able to help us out here.
Gwyndielle might need to try to get Briar back up.
Yeah, that was my priority.
So, what does the disengage action do?
That is your action. It allows you to move. Is it your full speed away, Dan, or just half?
It doesn't allow you to move. It allows you to. You take that action. After
Step
which
up.
point, you can take any movement you take does not provoke. So the action of disengaging is basically you just like getting out of combat.
Don't
but it doesn't
fight.
inherently involve a move.
Because I need to get away from these people.
Disengage doesn't allow them to do an opportunity attack, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Right,
what it
but-
means.
but-
Prevents
It's
that,
basically.
yes.
But I also.
But it's sacrificing doing damage.
Yeah, you're
having
not
a chance to
attacking
attack.
back. You're just running, and then they can just run after you.
Run away.
Or you
But
can
I also
run
get-
away, but you will provoke. Yes.
But I can do a bonus action.
Yes. Your cunning action. You can disengage.
Yes. So I can. Presumably, I need to disengage before I run away.
Yes.
I am just Dan. Dan, do you as Dan?
Yes.
I'm not their friend. I'm here to murder them. As associate, filthy, disreputable associate dungeon master, do you want to offer the players any tactical advice?
Disengaging is a good move for you, but you can also do it after you attack. You could attack, disengage, and run away.
Is that true? Or
Yes,
you could bonus
absolutely.
action attack.
Yes. No,
Okay.
your bonus action is disengage because rogues
bonus
can
action,
take a
disengage.
cunning action, bonus action, which allows
Because
them to
he's a
disengage.
rogue.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's a rogue. Other people
Correct.
couldn't do that. I'll just point out as a
It's
rogue,
sort of a hit and run
James,
tactic.
you are a damage dealer. If you are not attacking, you are
dead
Not
weight.
doing your job.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is I will literally be dead weight very shortly.
Right. It
I'm
doesn't
saying
help
you're
you. Given that you can use your bonus action disengage, it doesn't help you to not attack. Right? At this point,
Right.
it's like you might as well attack, disengage, and then run away. The only option would be, I can run away twice. It's like, well, you could get a lot farther, but now you're not helping anybody.
I can use my healing word spell as a bonus action when it gets to my turn, if you make it to my turn.
Also, keep in mind, one of your people, who is probably your tank, essentially, is down, and that will free up Heavy Wallace to come and menace you a lot more. So she might also be
Yeah.
a priority
Yeah.
to get back up.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
remember the
No,
incident
that's-
at the bottom of the dam,
Once it's my turn, I'm going after Briar, I think. So
Yeah, I've got 2 hit points left, so I will not survive the next attack, but I'm still standing. So yeah, Briar first.
that's looking on the bright side.
Well, I was all in on diplomacy. I spec for diplomacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're one of those diplomatic assassins.
Yeah.
A diplassin.
Assassimat, please.
I kill with one-liners.
Yes,
Assassinat sounds like something that's next to a laundromat.
that's where you take your bodies.
Yeah, it's your laundromat, your automat, and your assassimat.
All right. Well, since nobody is next to them, so I don't get any of that stuff. So yeah, okay.
You do have advantage on attacking Stony because he's been lit up by guiding bolt.
Right. Well, Stony is going to get a dagger in the neck, probably.
Okay. He's got a big meaty neck. Stony does.
Well,
a lot of neck.
Do you have a big meaty dagger?
Good thing I have advantage. First roll was a 10. I know people don't believe this. This was my third natural 20.
We believe it. We believe your dice are weighted.
It's the same dice. Yeah. It does seem to keep rolling.
I believe that's your first one actually on a combat roll, which is good because remember, you get to roll a double damage on...
and that includes your sneak attack damage.
If you have sneak attack, yeah.
I don't think I get... Oh, no, I do have it.
Because you have advantage.
Because I have advantage, yes. Excellent. So, it's double the dice, double the 2 dice, and then add the modifier.
Correct.
Yep.
Right, okay. So...
Math time here on Total Party Kill, where we add numbers together.
3.
We should use a calculator for that.
4.
Does anyone know one?
No, there's no decent ones
There's
out
no
there.
good apps out there.
That was a 3 and a 4. So
7.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, that was just from PCalc here. Told me 7.
That was 17 total damage.
17.
Okay. You plunge your dagger into... Dan, I'll let you do it. I was going to do the math there. You plunge your dagger into Stoney's neck. I believe that there's a spout of blood. He's still coming at you. He is mad, but he is severely wounded at this point. You could say he's bloodied.
I am going to disengage and run away.
And so you do.
And I will run.
Nyasa bravely ran away.
I shall run behind this tree, which
all right.
I may attempt to hide behind at some point.
I think you may. Yeah, unfortunately, that's really would be an action, so they know
I
you're
know.
behind that tree.
Currently,
all right.
they do.
Yeah. Gwyndielle, you are behind a rock because all we do is stand behind things and get murdered here in Dungeons and Dragons. Rocks and trees, the doorways of the bog. So, your friend Nyasa is there, deeply hurt. You see Nis over in the shrubs. You see Briar face down in a bog in front of Magnet Rock.
Oh, wow. Well, it's tough because Briar's our tank.
Yep.
It's useful to have a tank.
Yeah.
Running in to cast a spell on her makes me tremendously vulnerable to Heavy Wallace, Scout, and Stony Hammer.
Do you have what healing spells do you have? Are they touch or do you have range?
I'm checking those now because
like cure wounds, I think. Is
yeah,
touch,
unfortunately,
right?
like cure wounds is touch. I just checked that.
Healing word is not.
I'm also checking healing words because I have healing word. It's a 60-foot range. Yeah, I've got a 60-foot.
I'm going to do a thing to help you out all of you here. I think this may be a thing that sometimes in some of your actions you're not aware of. Players, please share what your armor class is with each other because it's probably most important to know what are people's relative armor classes more so than it is to know yours.
I should.
What's your armor class? Yes.
15.
15. That's not bad. Gwyndielle, what's your armor
Mine
class?
is 18.
That's really good. You should not be.
Why are you
afraid of
hiding?
things.
Man, clerics are
Because
Briar.
I'm a
The rock is
coward,
useless.
That's why I'm Howard.
Okay, Briar,
I
what's
only
your
have
armor
17.
class?
How did that happen?
because
Wait,
clerics are very.
Clerics are also warriors.
Yeah.
They're just religious warriors.
Why are you
and
I'm
Yeah.
really
we're gonna
push.
push you out behind that rock.
yeah,
No!
there we go.
All
I
right.
just
Nyasa,
like to point
what's your
out
armor
that I am
class?
currently the closest person who is not unconscious, and I have 12.
Yeah.
So,
Denala, your armor class is 12.
yes.
Yeah, because you're wearing a fancy dress. Nyasa, what is your armor class?
Mine is 16.
Okay, so just
Okay,
to point
so
out here, Gwyndielle
Gwyndielle.
had been hiding behind a rock, and it turns out is the toughest person here. So
maybe-
that was a service I offered
Thank you,
to
Tony.
you
Okay.
as your friend.
All right.
Everything else after this is on you, jerks.
So what I'm going to do, so Tony, I went upstairs during my break and told my daughter, I said, yes, our dungeon master calls us jerks, and she's like, oh, why?
Now you know.
And now
Yeah.
you know.
I said, what did you do? So, all right.
It's what we
so
will do.
I'm going to move out.
What did you do?
I'm going to move out in front of the rock, and this puts me approximately 25 feet away from Briar. And I am going to use a healing word spell on her.
All right.
So,
Hooray.
let me roll for that. And according to my healing word, I got an 18. And a creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So 18 plus.
No,
That would be
Wisdom, whatever your wisdom
just
is.
roll a
Yeah,
1d4.
you don't have to roll. It's just the 1d4.
okay. So just 1d4. All right.
1d4 plus your
Plus
wisdom.
whatever your modifier is.
Okay, so math is hard. Okay, my okay, the modifier for this is 8.
No, it'll be less than that. It's just your wisdom.
It's just my wisdom.
Yep.
Okay, because
Wisdom
I just
modifier.
rolled the dice per the D&D behind.
Oh, maybe was it like 4 plus 4?
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah.
Okay,
it was
so
2d4
total
plus
of
3.
Oh yeah, there you go. So it's a total. Sorry, 2d4. You cast it at second level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So
Yep.
that's 8.
Mm-hmm. And my wisdom is a 16 with a plus 3 modifier. So
I think it may have. If you just rolled two, did you just roll 2d4? It was like.
yeah,
And that gave you a total of 8 because you got 2 4s.
yeah.
Okay, so then plus the 3, yeah, so it would be 11.
Wow.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's yeah. It turns out, Gwyndielle, your character has been drawn as wearing like fancy robes, but you are like under those fancy robes have like golden chainmail and like a spell book full of high level spells.
It's true that I
It's
do have
probably
the
ceramic,
chainmail.
right?
So I
Yeah.
should, well, actually, according to my equipment list, in terms of the chainmail that I have, it says I have scale mail, whatever that is.
That's even
like
better.
almost plate mail, basically.
Oh, it's leather.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That means I'm not
Yeah.
going to stick to the
Walls.
I'm not going to stick to the walls, which was a big concern of mine.
Yep.
You know?
All right. So just to point out, you shouldn't have been hiding behind a
No.
rock.
Okay,
You
so does
should
this
be
mean I should not?
murdering people
Yeah.
left and
That's-
right?
we had
Okay,
that's
that's-
okay. We had to have this talk with James for his
Okay.
last
Yes.
character, where James
All
was the
right.
toughest
Yeah,
of all of
James-
us and was hiding.
All right, so I'm just going
Yeah.
to hang out by the rock, though. We got Briar back up
All right.
again, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
my. I don't have to do anything else this turn, or should I just go ahead since I'm feeling pretty good about healing Briar? I can continue to do things. What is my next move here?
If you can do any
He's,
bonus thing to heal me, that would be great. But if you can't, maybe next time.
Okay,
I
let's.
think you only get a single bonus action,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Correct, and you can't cast.
So, Gwyndielle, here's
spells
your.
twice.
I think and healing word was a bonus action.
Yeah.
So you've healed Briar. Briar is in fact doing pretty good, right? You're at like half health.
Yeah,
Briar?
half health.
The 11 starts from the 0, not from -2.
Oh, it does?
You're still on the ground in the mud.
have more than
Yeah.
half health.
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh.
Gwyndielle, you still have an action left.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know if you want to, which could be any kind of attack on any of these unscrupulous jerks.
Well, you know, I do happen to. I like the kill, murder. In terms of attack, I do happen to have a crossbow.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but with the magnetic situation, Nis fired a crossbow and it missed because it's all metal.
I will tell you, you know, the effect of a magnet diminishes the further you are from people. I would say that probably Stony and Chris are further away from the magnet than Heavy Wallace and Arnor.
Although Stony is already struggling because he's pretty bloody, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
also
but if you take-
would have advantage on Stony because
So-
you lit him up with that guiding bolt.
So
he
you
might
know
be
what?
a
I also
prime
have a
target.
mace. So why don't I just come in and see if I can hit him with my mace?
Walk him.
Remember what, like, literally 2 minutes ago when you were a person to hide behind rocks and now you're a person that beats people to death in a bog? So that's character development.
It is. It is. Well, now that you've the real murderer was inside me all along.
Thank you.
Get out!
Lisa, I've known that about you. Lisa, I've known that about you for years.
The murderer is in your body.
No one else is a Sons of Anarchy podcast if it's not there.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what I'm rolling here.
The murderer is coming
You
from
rush
inside
forward.
the house.
Roll 2 d20s and take the higher, and then add whatever your modifier for your mace is. It's probably, you know, some number that's less than 5 and more than 2.
Okay.
know.
So
I
the
don't
highest
have
was a
your character sheet in
19.
front.
The modifier
you
is a
hit.
1.
Yeah.
Yes.
D-
Okay.
You don't have to do math on 19s. You wallop him in the side of the head with a mace. Does it say what a mace does for damage?
It says 1d6 minus 1.
All right, roll 1d6 minus 1.
All right, let me roll that.
That seems like not the most effective mace, unfortunately.
No, and
your strength
unfortunately,
is
I only
probably
rolled a 3.
All right, so you hit him in the side of the face for 2 damage. Some of his teeth pop out. Also, I mean, perhaps more importantly, you have got his attention.
Oh, that's the worst part.
You are much harder to hit
you
than
have the
everybody
18
else.
AC. It's the best part.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are also a tank here.
Okay.
All right, Gwyndielle, I think you're all set.
Well, for a given value of all set, yes, I've now gotten Stony Hammer mad at me.
Briar, you are conscious. Heavy Wallace may not be aware of that. You are lying on the ground at Heavy Wallace's feet as he glares around at your friends. What do you want to do?
So basically, I only have metal weapons. So I can either do an unarmed strike, which will do a maximum of 6 damage, or I can take the chance with the sword with the disadvantage.
I will tell you, Heavy Wallace is berserking, which means he is easier to hit. He is standing next to a rock that is magnet, which makes him harder to hit. Those cancel out such that you have neither advantage nor disadvantage.
Nice. All right, I'm going to try that then.
All right, do you want to stand up first?
Oh, yeah.
I guess be harder to...
I guess I should. I guess it's probably harder to
All right.
fight while lying down.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, you get up. Heavy Wallace is surprised. He thought he had murdered you.
Again?
He's used to people staying
People
murdered.
don't get up again when I hit him with my axe.
Ooh, that's a good roll. 20.
That is a good roll.
That is definitively a good
damage.
roll. Roll some damage.
Oh, yeah. This is where I failed before. Multiple times. Oh, God. What's it with the ones? All right. That's 10, I believe. 10.
Oh, solid.
All right.
Solid hit.
All right. Heavy Wallace still there. Not technically bloodied, despite the fact that he has been stabbed and daggered multiple times. He is very vexed.
That was most annoying.
All right. Anything else, Briar?
No, I think we'll wait.
Okay. Nis, you are in the bog, as you like to be. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go
Running for cover?
Running for cover, since I
right.
realize I need it. And then I am going to attack Heavy Wallace with a spell.
Oh. What spell?
It's Witch Bolt.
Witch bolt.
Non-lethal or lethal?
Lethal.
Lethal witch bolt. All right.
It is. Where is the +4? 14 + 4, 18.
All right. Heavy Wallace is busy glaring at the not murdered Briar and gets hit in the side with a witch bolt.
What even is that?
Which kind of bolt was that? Who bolt? How bolt?
Why
What
bolt?
Why, Bolt? Why?
He knows why. So that's 5 damage.
All right.
That's lightning
Okay, I got
damage.
that. Yep. I would say at this point, Heavy Wallace is bloodied.
Great. And if I can keep my concentration, I just get to continue to deal 1d12 of damage against him every turn.
The challenge will be every time you get hit with an arrow by Arner.
Yes, that's why I'm behind this tree.
All right. Arner is next. So I think Arner is going to fire 2 more shots at you. Let's see. You're going to have +2 bonus to your AC. Nis?
Tree bonus.
Tree bonus. One of those is good. One of those is not. I don't think a 12 was going to hit. A 12 was not going to hit you. 17 when you're hiding behind a tree.
Will exactly hit me.
Oh.
All right. Ugh, right in the arm for 5. 6 piercing damage. And I believe you need to roll to maintain concentration.
I believe so.
Constitution check should be a 10. You have to.
I think it's just DC 10. Yeah.
18.
All right. You have no trouble. You're hurt, but you are still focused on electrocuting Heavy Wallace, as
Great.
we all are. Denala, you stand on the kind of the outskirts of the fight. You have seen your friend Nyasa retreat, and Gwyndielle thunder in to
I really don't want to say this, but
place.
was Chris not supposed to do something as well?
Oh, haha! Thank you.
Also, here's
Chris,
some homework.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Thanks, Rosemary. You're the best.
You're
Chris-
going to give me some bonuses now, FYI.
You get inspiration.
Maybe. Chris, I forgot that I had 2 scouts. Chris steps out from behind Stony, and he's got his mean short sword. Some of Nyasa's blood is still dripping from it, and he is going to swing at Gwyndielle. But Gwyndielle is tough and hard to hit. Let's see. Gwyndielle, I have rolled a 17 and an 8, which I believe we've established does not hit you because you are a tough murder machine. Denala, your turn.
Wonderful. Yes.
Can
so
you heal?
Well, that's a bonus action. I'm focusing on the actions first. You can have the bonus action.
It's
in a
not
minute.
all about you, James.
Yeah.
I think you'll find it is.
Okay. I have a logistics question. If I aim for Stony with a firebolt and I miss him, is there a chance that I will hit Chris because he's right behind him?
I don't think so. I think it's hard. You know,
That's
you got to
unfortunate.
remember that it's like we're in combat. People are actually kind of like moving around in their squares and whatnot. There are
Then
spells. There are spells that like do a line of attack, but I don't think firebolt is one of them.
No, it doesn't say that it is, but I thought I'd just check.
There's like a wall of fire spell that would do that, for example. But you'll get that at higher levels.
Yeah. I think I am gonna aim my firebolt at Stony Hammer, or because it seems like a good idea. And if this window will go away, then 23. That should hit. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Is that a crit?
No, I got 19.
Okay.
And then that's doing 5 damage.
All right, Dan, you got that?
Yeah.
Chipping away at the berserkers.
All right, and then as my bonus action, seeing
Thank
as somebody's being very insistent, I'm gonna use my healing word.
On Heavy Wallace?
No. I'm gonna
on!
use this on
Heal.
Nyasa.
I'm just,
Real
just
heel
ask-
turn there.
Just asking.
Okay,
Just
so
checking.
there you go.
So, creature, I can see Nyasa just about.
Yep.
There's trees in the way, but, I know where she went. So, let's see. I'm afraid that only does 4 healing,
It's
positives, but, it's 4.
It's the
not
thought that counts.
0.
4 is good.
All right. I think, Denala, you all set?
Yes.
All right, the fight continues with Heavy Wallace and Stonehammer. Dan.
Let's start with Stonehammer, who will mutely swing around towards Gwyndielle and swing his axe towards her.
Is he berserking or no?
He is berserk he's been set on fire a little bit. He's been stabbed. He was
Multiple
bolted for a
times.
little bit. It was rough.
I'm putting the berserk symbol on them.
He rolls a 20. He will take 9 slashing damage.
How bad off are you, Gwyndielle?
Okay, so I took 9 damage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Damage. Let me. Well, I had 21 hit points to start with, so I'm down to 12.
Yep.
Okay, so that was a
So you had the
significant
most
blow.
hit points of anyone and the
Oh, I
highest
did.
armor class.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Heavy Wallace faces off with Briar, and he looks like a little bit nonplussed at Briar's standing up again. It's like, what? Are you some sort of zombie or something? And then he tries to hit her with an axe. And he's very angry about her not staying dead. Wow, he rolled a 17.
Oh, my armor class is 17.
Oh, he just gets you.
Oh.
That would be 9 slashing damage.
Okay. Not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
Really?
All right.
Just did a healing word.
And so the fight continues. You have yet to drop any of the scouts or berserkers, so lots of damage has been laid out on them. Will you be successful at defeating these surly, menacing mercenaries? Will you gain entrance to Magnet Rock? And what horrors lie within? Will you ever see the face of poor Pennon Whitesparrow again? Will you confront Mira or her alias, Gloom? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time.